But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
With the rockets or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. They were too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please, please help me!
Won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0 1 1 1 0
doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? This is the show where we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. We do this show Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We stream live on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. We also broadcast live on the Fringe FM digital radio. That's KTLK-DB. And we take your phone calls. Since we started the show 3+ years ago, like I say, I like to say that because I'm very proud of what we put together in just such a short time here. Sometimes it takes people a decade to build something amazing, and with all of your help, I think we've cut that time by a third, and we've got something amazing here as part of a larger community and a larger discussion. And kind of like I said, I've said this before. As part of this show, it's more like the great conversation, right? That's the old way of putting this. It's not really about any of those particular things that I said in the intro there. It's about all of those things. It's about combining basically everything and having a different worldview than what the television tries to tell you, than what the mainstream media tries to feed you, than propaganda, basically, right? So, and again, I'm from Generation X. I was an 80s kid, and spent a lot of time when I was young, watching TV, like many people do, and still do. And as a result of that, really, it was lost on me, the propaganda that was happening back then in the 80s, which surely there was plenty, but there was no internet yet, right? We had not really come to fruition of the ridiculous levels of propaganda that we've hit today. And so that's really what this conversation is about, the larger conversation. And it includes all of those things, right? It includes like an unbelievable amount of things. And so, sometimes it is good old-fashioned conspiracy, and that's what's on deck tonight. That's what we're talking about. I'll get to that point in just a sec, but I know I digressed a little bit there. But I want to point out, being that this is a live show and the community we built is just not just me, it's you. If you're out there listening, then this is, or even in an archive or any of the rest of this, if you show up live, we got a whole bunch of people show up to listen live. We have a whole bunch of people listen to archives and on YouTube and, actual things that have been up on the internet for a long time now. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And the reason we've always done this live in this format, even with all the wrinkles, all the warts, all the imperfections, the ums and the ahs and the weird pauses sometimes, is because an open conversation is the most valuable conversation, in my opinion. And I'd rather take a weird step or say the wrong word here or there and have it be a little bit strange. I am Michael Strange after all. Then have cut this down in like the lab, so to speak, and parse it to the perfect word. And so as a result of that, being live and imperfect, I invite you to the conversation, and that's really what this show is about. It's about a larger conversation about many things that I believe are important. Like incredibly important, and that's why I talk about them. That's why I pick the topics that we discuss. And yeah. So with that said, tonight I invite you to the conversation. And if you want to be part of the show, you can give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And you can be part of the show. You can also join the Discord by going to troubledminds.org. It's the official website. Everything's back up and working, and I'm cleaning things up. And it's going to be the baddest ass website on the planet coming up soon. So if you haven't actually gone to the website yet, go to troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link on top. You can be part of the show that way. The phone number is right there. Everything you need, troubledminds.org. We have another Discord running actually for Fringe FM. Go to the fringe.fm/chat or fringe.fm and just click the Discord banner, and it give you a direct invite. I'm watching all these chats. As we go, I'm trying to watch it all, trying to watch all the things and say hi to everybody and read the thoughtful things that you guys put in the chat, because, like I said, a conversation goes two ways. And for all the things I've learned, kind of looking into the propaganda state and a bunch of the censorship and all the UFO madness and the things we talk about, for all of that I've learned on my own doing this show, I've probably learned more from you guys. And so, once again, that's why we do this. That's why we've always done it this way. That's why we'll always do it live. No matter what happens, we'll find a way to do this live if eventually they come after us and try and take us down like, so many others. In any case, all right. So with all that said, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link and get your ass in here. Let's talk. All right. So here's the thing, right? I was going through a bunch of news, and like I always do, kind of getting an idea for the show tonight. And I was thinking, right, like first I saw there's some news on Reddit and some other stuff with these cat aliens, right? And I was like, what the hell is this? Come on, guys. We're like, really? Like feline cat alien? I don't know, right? Like at some point, well, I mean, many of the topics we talk about, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief anyway, right? Like we say a lot on this show, it's you have to take a hefty hit of the maybe juice to really even consider some of these possibilities. And we call them fables or mythologies or folklore and kind of explore some of that stuff as it is, right? And I don't know if it's the truth. Probably a lot of it is not. But people say these things. People believe these things, and I can find sources on the internet to point them out, right? And I could point you to the alien cat stuff too. But so I looked into that a little bit, and I was going to do that tonight. I was like, we're going to do alien cats tonight, and I started digging, and there's so I guess Australia has actually put out some information from their government and describing cat aliens, right? And I was like, all right, let's check out these actual government documents. So I start digging into it, and I can't find them. I just can't find them. There's everything I find traces back to one source, and the guy claims to have the actual, he's got screenshots or whatever, but I couldn't get the actual source itself to load. And so I don't want to talk about it if some guy just made it up and he's trolling the internet. You know what I'm saying? I like at least a little more than that. So anyway, so we may at some point circle back to the cat aliens if it checks out because at this point, there you go. Night Stalker linked it in the Fringe Discord, and this is why you miss things. If you haven't joined the Discord, guys, there's lots of smart people sharing lots of stuff, and do check it out. So yeah, that's the one. So I was going to talk about that tonight, but it doesn't have enough meat on the bones, right? It's a brand new thing. It just hit like earlier this week, and so we were going to do that. And I'm like, it'll be fun. It'll be kind of like the Thursday show. We'll get together and we'll have some laughs and talk about cat aliens. Well, nah, it's a little bit thin on the bone. So I kept digging, right? I was like, okay, so what else? Let's not do that. I don't want to have like almost no sources for this except everything leading back to one source. It's bad. All right. So then I started digging a little bit more and came across a particular article written by an individual by the name Sarah Scholes. One Sarah Scholes. And she's written books actually about UFOs and things like this, right? A prolific writer, widely respected by many. I'm not going to say which ancient astronaut theorist says yes, but let's say a nondescript group respects her immensely, and that's okay. You do a lot of good work and you gain respect, right? So I was, looking at some of this and the article that she wrote, and let's just pull it up. Let's start with this. This is a little bit, this is from Popular Science, all right, popsci.com, and I'm linking it in the chat, and you guys can, So sorry to disappoint you all tonight. We're not talking about cat aliens, all right? We're not going to do that. If something more develops from that and something comes out of it, we may, but we're not going to do that tonight. So we're going to do this instead. Popular Science, and Sarah Scholes wrote this, and this is the headline to this article, and I got to admit, right, like as many of you know, I'm a free speech purist, meaning that, short of like calling for violence, I think you should be able to say whatever the hell you want to say. I just do. All of the ugly things that entails. I'm not going to defend the extremes of speech, but I am going to say, yeah, fine. You may be a jerk, but you have a right to be a jerk, right? Or worse. But you have a right to be a murderer and send people calls to violence? No. I think it stops there. Simple, right? It's a simple thing. But it doesn't mean I'm going to try and defend every ugly thing you say and justify it somehow. My detractors have tried to make me do that as well. Like, oh, here's some really terrible thing that somebody said. Defend that. I can't. I can't. People say terrible things, right? And it has nothing to do with me. I'm just saying, if I'm trying to shut up people that say terrible things, they can in turn try and shut me up. And I'm not even trying to say terrible things, you see? You see how it works. It's a very slippery slope, and part of this is, the conversation tonight. So here we go. Let's go to this article. Now, the headline reads this, written by Sarah Scholes. This is July 8th, 2021, brand spanking new. UFO conspiracies can be more dangerous than you think. All right? And then the subheadline, hardcore UFO enthusiasts share troubling elements with other conspiracy communities. Weird, right? Isn't that weird? It's, clearly right out of the gate, this is a hit piece. This is basically like, okay, well, there's a lot of crazy stuff coming out of the UFO community, so let's crap on them, right? Let's call them more dangerous than you might think. All right. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah. So this, yeah. All right. Let's read just a little bit of this because I read it and it kind of pissed me off, to be perfectly honest. But that's why we're going to talk about it tonight, because I think this type of thing now in particular, like I said, I don't believe free speech wise we should shut Sarah Scholes up. I think she should have the ability to say whatever she wants. All right. However, what's worse, right? Allowing people to say something like, oh, I don't know, like the stuff we were talking about last night. I'll let you put two and two together, and I'm not going to mention any names there, right? Talking about some things that may or may not be true, right? And selling things as a result of that, right? Fine. All right. But what's more dangerous? Somebody doing something like that, or somebody doing something like this and trying to shut up an entire segment of the population? Because last I checked, I'm pretty sure a very large percentage of the American population and the world population believes that aliens are real. Okay? Now you see, right? You see how these things happen. It's sort of that, like they say back in the 80s, right? The war on drugs. It's the gateway drug of sorts. Except this is the gateway journalism, and how we group together a huge group of people and then call them dangerous. Well, let's not say that. How about more dangerous than you think? Just like it says in the headline. So let's just read some of this. And like I said, I know everybody who listens to this show, everybody, like you wouldn't be here if you weren't interested in the UFO conversation, in the conspiracy type conversation, right? In the paranormal, these types of conversations that we have. You wouldn't be here. All right? So now let me ask you, just because maybe you fancy this show from time to time, and I say that because you're listening to it right now, so I expect maybe you're not here taking notes to write a hit piece on me. You're probably, having a good time working in the garage. If Beechwood's out there, what's up, buddy? Always working in the garage, listening to me at night, right? Maybe you're doing something similar. Maybe you're eating dinner and have us on the radio, whatever, right? But I really doubt you're like hate listening to me, right? You're like taking notes on, I'm gonna get this guy. He's gonna say something bad and I'm gonna nail him. No, there's nobody doing that yet. You know why? Because we're not big enough for that yet. But the second you are, look what happens. Here we go. Straight from the article. UFO conspiracies can be more dangerous than you think. Written by Sarah Scholes. It starts like this. Ufology's old guard came of age with relatively offline lives, gathering at conferences or local research meetings. They often dug the procedural nature of investigating specific UFO cases or looked into the sociology of things, captured by the human side of the story, as opposed to simply the sightings themselves. Then, of course, there was the more passively interested public, who once had to dig more for information. We're talking again back in the day without the internet. All right. Things have changed. This continues. Quote, a joke I've heard is you're talking to an old UFO head who's 40 or 50 years old, and he says, quote, when I wanted to get conspiracy documents, I had to go find a weird guy in a trench coat in Times Square selling DVDs. Says Chris Cogswell, a co-host of the Mad Scientist podcast, a show examining the science, philosophy, and history of weird claims. Now, I just go to the History Channel, he says. Right? Okay, sure, fine. But because the History Channel is airing some of this stuff, and they are, I absolutely do not refute that. Right? Remember the premise of the article. Why UFO conspiracies can be more dangerous than you think. All right? So then this continues. If you want a slightly less conspiratorial UFO material, lately you can also open the New York Times, the New Yorker, the Washington Post, NBC, CBS, and even, yes, Popular Science. Now let's remove Popular Science from that equation, but all of those things that Sarah Scholes listed, to me, is BS propaganda at an unbelievable level. So you see it right off the bat. We have the entire point of this article right off the bat is like, oh, check it out. Here's some really good places you can go without being, a conspiracy, a dirty, dangerous conspiracy theorist, right? Here's some places you can go. But let me tell you what, and let me ask you the question, which is the question tonight, actually. This is what's on my mind tonight. Now, if you have a conspiracy theory that's backed by the mainstream media, and I tell you what, there are many, uncountable even. The number is ridiculous because that's all they do. They lie by omission. They change critical details. They spin everything possible. They use fake pictures, misleading photographs. They do all of these things in the mainstream media, including the things the places she's describing as safe, less conspiratorial places. All right? Now, is that dangerous? Which part is dangerous? Which part is dangerous? So that's the question tonight. Which part is more dangerous? If you have an entire corrupt establishment media that does nothing but spin conspiracies day in and day out to brainwash everybody who shows up to listen to it, what's more dangerous? Us getting together at 7 p.m. talking about UFO mythologies, UFO folklore, why people may or may not believe these things? Or an entire establishment media lying to you to brainwash you with their own concocted conspiracy theories. What's more dangerous? Just as an example, just to throw it out there, that's the question on my mind tonight. And again, I don't want to shut anybody up. I think Sarah Scholes, Popular Science, they have the right to say these things. However, when you start trying to malign a huge section of the population as potentially dangerous, you're part of a lying establishment media. That's it. Because, yeah, right, think about it, right? Think about what dangerous UFO cults have happened recently, right? Think about it. Like, the only, like, actual dangerous, like, suicidal type, danger to society type cults, Jim Jones, right? I don't even think that was in my lifetime. Maybe it was, barely, right? Like, if it was, I was a baby. Now, the thing is this, right? Jim Jones, the Kool-Aid, Uganda, leaving the United States, the senator, the assassination attempt. We know the story, right? Yeah, that is a dangerous cult, right? Because people were trapped. People were reliant on these crazy people, all right? Now, what's another one? I didn't dig into this. I was like, let's just go off the top of our heads here. What else is a dangerous UFO cult that you've heard in recent times? The only one I could think of, the only one was that Heaven Gates thing. That's the only one. You remember that? With the UFO trailing the Hale-Bopp comet and that whole bit? You remember that? That's the only one. They committed suicide, right? And it was horrific and it's awful. But do you really think that was about UFOs at all? Do you think it was more widespread to be some sort of religious cult about maybe ascension or heaven or things like this? It was called Heaven's Gate after all. Now you tell me, like I said, and if I sound mad, I'm a little mad. I'm a little mad because when you do things like this, again, you're making huge accusations at a gigantic group of people, calling them potentially dangerous. And I always talk about how we change the definition of terrorist to suit the political climate, right? That is basically a terrorist. In actual dictionary terms, that's not what a terrorist is, right? That's not at all. I'm not going to look it up. You guys are smart enough to know what the actual definition is. But it's funny, right? It depends on who you ask. If you ask politically, the Trump administration, they'll tell you one thing is a terrorist. You ask the Biden administration, they'll tell you someone else entirely is a terrorist. And we've seen it. And it pisses me off. Because here we are playing political hot potato with huge chunks of the population that, let me tell you what, are probably not dangerous whatsoever. And I don't like it. I do not like it, and I think it's irresponsible, and that's what's on my mind tonight. And you tell me. Again, you guys tell me. You're interested in UFOs or you wouldn't be here. How dangerous do you feel as a result of that? Now, we'll get into some more of this article and talk about specifically what's going on and why this was written and, some actual individuals that she pointed out. And, and some of them are YouTubers, right? Some of them are just, activists trying to be part of the UFO community and have speculative conversations like we do here. How dangerous do you think I am, guys? And how dangerous do you feel being here listening to what I'm saying? Are you kidding me? Really? No. See, but this show is not a big enough target yet. The second it is, though, and it starts to get people's attention on a wider scale, this is the type of terrible journalism that will come after us. And then we will get haters, writing down every word I say, dictating every single thing, recording it all. Ha ha. Gotcha, Michael Strange. I knew you were a terrorist. No, I'm sorry. It is wrong. And there you go. That's what's on my mind tonight. And so that's the question. What do you think is more dangerous? An establishment media constantly concocting phony narratives to brainwash you, or something like this, where we get together and talk about weird stuff after the sun goes down? It doesn't seem like it's even in the same realm to me. like not even close. Not even close. And sure, fine, I'm biased. But I promise you, I've said it 1,000 times on the show. I'll say it 1,000 again, 1,000 more. I detest violence, and I don't think it gets anything done. And I think there are so many other ways you can actually get things done, and that's why I'm here talking about this stuff. You don't have to be violent to change things. But of course, when they come after me, they will omit that from the article, won't they? Yeah. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds after the break. 702-957-1037. I'm Michael Strange. We will be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we're taking your phone calls. The topic tonight is conspiracy theory. If you have a corrupt, lying dog media, who's more dangerous? Somebody thinking for themselves and trying to put together pieces of the puzzle with incomplete information? Or a media that has most of the information and uses it to brainwash and mislead you? Interesting, right? Interesting thoughts here. And this is part of the entire media landscape now, right? The technocrats, the social media, the censorship. We're going to get to that. I've got some of that stuff we can talk about, as well as this article that we started with tonight. So that's what's on deck. Censorship. Dangerous, dirty conspiracy theorists. And my definition differs of a conspiracy theory. So anyway, before I get on another rant here, we have Daryl waiting on the phone, so I don't want to keep Daryl waiting any longer. We are taking your phone calls, as I mentioned. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Go to troubledminds.org. You can find the Discord link and the phone number right on the website. Let's go to Daryl in New York. Welcome to the show, my friend. Ooh. How are you tonight? Hello.
Ouch. I want you to know you're on my official speed dial in my phone, so you're on my permanent phone list, in my permanent phone book.
Nice.
It's so much easier that way.
Nice.
Yesterday's conspiracy theory is today's mainstream news, correct?
That is correct. It seems to be happening.
If science is complicity, then stupidity and ignorance is complicity. Who's responsible for, if we're aware, censorship. This is the biggest problem right now, that we're not hearing both sides of any story, that the mainstream media is still controlling the narrative, and we can't believe everything they're saying because we know they're lying. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse, I hope not, but this is pissing me off, and I just want to bring this up. But, the vaccine, can I just bring this up and I won't bring it up again?
Yeah, please don't go too deep with some trigger words that'll get us in trouble. But yes, please go right ahead.
All right, I'm just very upset because I've been listening to more and more cases of these young kids that are athletes that are getting myocarditis from the vaccine, and they're trying to deny this. This is pissing me off. They're not using the data to warn people. This is a crime against nature. Now, are we, the people that are aware of this stuff, are we any bit responsible for not making more people aware?
No,
are we going to be blamed, or who's going to be blamed in the long run? When this is going to go down. How much responsibility do we have to try to bring the truth out? I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to have any guilt, but
yeah. So unfortunately,
it's bothering me though.
It bothers me too. That's why I'm talking about it. So as engaged, intelligent citizens, as we know, freedom is not a free thing, right? It's something we have to protect continually. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, when we have an entire establishment lying to us, it falls on our lap to do something about it. And again, let me reiterate for the detractors out there, I don't mean violence. All right? I am not a dangerous person, and under no circumstances do I think we should do anything violent. All right? And like I said, you have to say it explicitly, because if you leave that detail out, I'm the terrorist. It's not okay with me. It's not okay to twist the words I say. I think we can change the world without violence. How revolutionary is that, right?
Absolutely.
How revolutionary. It seems a simple damn thing.
Absolutely.
And instead, here we are with people trying to say, well, look, these crazy people believe all these crazy things. And you know what? It makes them kind of dangerous. Oh, yeah? Go get your education from the television. We'll see how dangerous you end up. It's not even close. It's just not even close. Anyway, sorry. Like I said, before I get on a tangent and start freaking out, I don't want to cut you off there. Go right ahead.
I think the only dangerous disclosure will be the mainstream media weaponizing it. That's the worst thing that can happen to the disclosure or any kind of conspiracy theories, if they become mainstream media, they're going to screw it up by making them dangerous and evil and malevolent. You know, they're not going to give both sides. They're not going to let there be. They're going to be censoring the narrative as usual. You know, and I just would like to hear the truth, or I want fake news. I don't know, just bring back fake news. I'll be happy with that. You know, at least we weren't censored with the fake news, you know? And yesterday's fake news is today's truth. So, you know, is conspiracy theories fake news now? You know?
Not if you go by the past year.
So,
exactly. Not if you go by the past year. Things have developed in a crazy manner. All the things that we said, and again, I'm on record with Ash a year ago, more than a year ago, almost a year and 6 months ago, saying that all these things were going to happen. And back then, we were the extremists, right? Like, again, the reach of the show wasn't enough.
Exactly.
Like I said, you don't get anybody's attention until you have a loud enough voice, a big enough audience. And then people start lining up to take you down because they don't want people getting together. They don't want people discussing these things and actually parsing the lies they tell. Because I'll tell you what, they're lying to us like crazy. Like crazy. And when I say they, I mean a lying, corrupt establishment. That's who's lying to us. And of course...
The only time...
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I was saying the only time they're telling the truth is when they're swearing they're lying. You know?
Right.
That's the only time you can believe them. If they swear they're lying.
Yeah. Like, how do you know they're lying? Their lips are moving, right? It's like that sort of situation. And so what do you expect? To be perfectly honest, if we can't get real news anymore, and it's all just a bunch of BS, what are we supposed to do? Like, are we not supposed to try and figure out what's going on?
Does the mainstream media realize that they've been duped this long? Suddenly they're going to be realizing that they've been being fed a line of BS, and they've been, you know, forcing this narrative down their throats. I think eventually, God, isn't the truth ever going to come out, you know, everywhere? It's got to. We can't be controlled 1,000%. The truth has to come out. I'm just hoping, you know, with enough of us around, I'm just hoping that somehow the truth will come out. I don't know. I can't even watch the mainstream media. I don't even want to. As soon as I hear it on mainstream media, I can't believe it. You know, I'm like, that must be a lie. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
afraid to hear it there.
That's the point.
You know, they're lying to us daily.
Yeah. Yeah, and almost everything too. Almost everything. If it's like prime time, notice too, right? So like Fox News or CNN, like just pick your poison. It doesn't matter. But in the daytime, right? They do more of like kind of benign news stories. They'll talk finance and things like this. But prime time, when they have eyeballs on them, the propagandists come out, and that's when the lies start flying. I mean, it's so predictable. Like if you know a particular person is speaking, they're lying. It's just, you know, right? But there's so many people that don't know because they think those are the authority figures that are telling us from their sources, right? They're anonymous sources, that whole bit again. As you know, that's the whole reason of this show, why we started this, to have more of a conversation with people like you, Daryl, with all the people out there in the chat, with everybody getting together and being able to say, hey, look, is this real or is this not? Now, is that dangerous, asking that question? I don't think so at all. I think it's responsible. No. It's the opposite of dangerous.
It shouldn't be.
No.
Asking questions shouldn't be dangerous, you know. But it's what the responses are. I mean, what kind of lies they're feeding us. I keep reading every time I'm reading something new, the more and more of these outbreaks of COVID are among the people that are vaccinated. Why would we need a vaccine to go anywhere if all of the people that are vaccinated are getting sick? You know? They're all getting COVID. It's not even preventing it. What the hell is going on? When are they going to say something? When is this going to come out? Like, stop this madness. We're going to destroy our society if we haven't already. We're going to see people dropping like flies soon. You know, how many people have to die first before they'll stop this craziness, you know?
Well, regarding the people dying, I'm going to back off the people dying because I don't want to say that because they'll call me a terrorist, right? But this is the thing, right? Just keep in mind the terms of the past year and a half, all right? First, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and we're a year and a half into that. right? And then finally, they peeled back some of this. At first, it was like, well, you got to get the shot. And now it's like, well, now you got to get this one and that one and the other one, and it might protect you from the Delta variant, right? And then they're like, oh, by the way, and also you'll need one every 12 months as a booster. Oh, okay. Well, how come nothing you told us was true from the beginning? Like, that's what I want to know. How come none of it was true? I mean, we're digressing a little bit, kind of going off on that stuff, but it's all relevant here. It's all relevant to exactly what we're talking about. The media is lying to us constantly. And so we're supposed to try and figure out what the truth is. And it doesn't make us terrorists asking questions. And that's what this is about. That's what this is about. We got to run, Daryl, because I got more stuff to get to. So final thought while we got you on the phone?
No problem. Thanks for taking the call. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. That's Daryl from New York. Great stuff, as always. We're looking to hear from you. What do you guys think about this stuff? Again, we're talking about this particular UFO article from Popular Science, written by Sarah Scholes. I'll read some more of this as we go, and we'll talk about some of the things. And I've got all kinds of information here that kind of lines up with a bunch of exactly what's happening. What we have is people backing up the establishment at the expense of, quote, fringe groups. All right, that's what's happening here. They're whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe they're just being contentious, being provocative, being obtuse. Let's say. Just for clicks, right? Because they know people like me will be like, what the hell? Right? And people like you will be like, what is this? Who knows? I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but I do know that things like this are not healthy. Like literally trying to collect huge groups of people data-wise and then try and parse them down to the dangerous ones is a dangerous concoction. Because you're just creating a new breed of terrorist, right? And now we're going to be the UFO terrorist. It's stupid. It's silly. Like, yeah, fine, right? Like, my point was, I made a point on Twitter a little bit earlier about this, and they were coming after UFO Jesus in this article, which we'll get to. You guys know UFO Jesus at Post Disclosure World. I poke fun at the guy, right? It's part of doing this. It's like people can poke fun at me too. It's fine. But to use him as an example of somebody who may be dangerous... Are you kidding me? We'll get to that in a sec. It's in this article. But come on. Get out of here. This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. Because look, right? If you want to play contrarian to this thought, can't you say that defending a lying media with something like this by punching down at smaller groups is dangerous? You can do the same thing, couldn't you? No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying you could try and make that case, couldn't you? I think it's an irresponsible case to make, against an individual like this, which I'm not going to, and I'm not, by the way. But you understand. Anyway, let's get back to this article. We're taking your phone calls tonight. What do you think about this? Like, usually the mainstream media, it's a given, right? It's a given that it's BS. It's a given that they're lying to us, and it gets worse and worse every single day. There's no doubt about it. It's literally so well documented. It's an avalanche of evidence. It just is. That's why it's a post-truth world. And that's why we do a show like this. I'm not telling you the answers. I honestly, I don't care what conclusion you come to. As long as, number one, you don't become violent. Don't do that. And number two, you think for yourself. That's it. That is it. That's my whole agenda. I don't care. You decide. How dangerous is that? Anyway, let's get back to this. We're taking your phone calls tonight. What do you think about the mainstream media? What do you think about the way they've treated this UFO conversation? And now we have people accusing the UFO community, well, of course, in small groups, right? It's very much like that, like I always say, with the ancient astronaut theorists, right? Notice how once you say a particular group of people, it's a nondescript, non-specific group of people, right? You're able to say ancient astronaut theorists say yes. You understand? So who is that? Like who's part of that group, right? Maybe you've watched some of the show, or you've dabbled in it, or you've done some research on the Anunnaki and read the Zachariah Sitchin stuff. Stitchin, I think it is. Yeah. I mean, what does that make you? Dangerous? maybe. Anyway, we're taking your phone call. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we're talking about a dishonest media. And who's dangerous? Who's more dangerous, right? Somebody trying to figure it out on their own and trying to find like-minded people and ask these same questions, or the media itself, who's constantly lying to us. Let's go back to this article. I also want to point this out. There's a couple things in here, like I said, that are pretty pointed. So let's keep trucking here. So, all right. Most people's interest remains casual, straight from the article, from Popular Science, written by Sarah Scholes. But underneath, there exists a harder core segment whose thoughts and actions around the topic include the troubling elements of other conspiracy communities. This is where it gets dangerous. UFO belief may seem like the fun conspiracy. Who doesn't, after all, like to contemplate aliens or secret advanced technology? But knock-on effects nevertheless exist. Quote, I think it's very difficult to imagine that UFOs are a reality without also thinking there is a conspiracy to cover them up, says Mick West, an author and skeptic who runs the forum Metabunk. Quote, he continues, if you believe anything extreme that involves a government cover-up, it makes it easy to believe the government stole the election or is covering up a vaccine. Oh, thanks, Mick West. Oh, weird. One of those things we're not even allowed to talk about. And if it's so dangerous or so untrue, why aren't we allowed to talk about it? I ponder. Just as a question. I'm curious about that. So anyway, this continues. At the same time, though, UFOs represent a special sort of conspiracy because most Americans grow up with a common narrative. If you haven't seen the X-Files, you've seen E.T. If you haven't seen E.T., you've listened to your friend's stories about the weird light she saw. Quote, lots of conspiracy theories you get red-pilled into. You're waking up into a world you didn't know existed, says Mick West, referring to the red pill in the Matrix that shows Neo the true nature of reality. But, he continues, everybody grows up knowing about UFOs and the ideas of flying saucers. The red pilling doesn't require very much. It's more like a pink pill, he quips. Yeah, For a lot of people, that pink pill is a personal experience. The article continues, it's them being on a dark country road and seeing a black triangle, says West. That personal connection, West believes, is part of why UFO conspiracists can be so intense. Compared to even 9/11 truthers, UFO folks are the most passionate people out there. Passion. Oh, passion. The sin of passion. How dare you? How dare we? How dare I have a conversation that clearly has been part of a cover-up for over 70 years? And I'm pretty sure that's irrefutable. Odd that you say, well, if you believe in UFOs at all or are interested in the conversation, you have to also believe in a government cover-up. Well, who doesn't? I mean, there's things that are obvious and there's things that aren't, right? And again, I'm pointing out the obvious here. Project Blue Book, tons and tons of FOIA documents. John Greenwald Jr. himself, who likes to write FOIA, theblackvault.com, he has said he believes there's a cover-up, emphatically, and the documents prove it. And he's a guy that sticks to the documents. I'm just saying, is it really that dangerous? Is it really unbelievable that the government covers things up, especially something so central to like a national security state? Is that so difficult to believe? So you see, when you have a hit piece like this, and you're talking about a group of people, and you're trying to call them, or maybe not directly call them, it's you're alluding that they're dangerous, right? Once you go down the rabbit hole deep enough, like UFO Jesus. And again, like I said, I've poked my fun at him. I think he seems to be a cool dude. I think, he tries to further the conversation because clearly there's something to it. All right? Now, to shoot it all down as BS and propaganda, I think is just as irresponsible as to believe maybe in cat aliens that there's no evidence of just yet that I could find, by the way. When I get government documents from the Australian government, we'll talk about cat aliens. Because why not? Let's look at the documents and find out why the Australian government has them. Is it some sort of disinfo information campaign? A psyop of sorts? Maybe. But isn't that part of the conversation? Isn't that part of, well, the CIA has got documents on remote viewing. Ingo Swann, right? Like they've done all kinds of ridiculous things in the government. And, some of it is not so flattering. So how hard is it to believe, right? And how dangerous does it make us having the conversation? I just don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. As part of a lying dog media to, as always, try and reframe what a terrorist means. I don't think it's okay. Let's get to the part real quick here where they in this article they go after UFO Jesus at Post Disclosure World, right? No, I think he's an ally. I think he's literally trying to get the truth out. I think through his musings, through his thoughts, through his YouTube videos and channel, I think he's doing good work. Like I said, we all say ridiculous things from time to time. I do too. But you know what? I'm on a microphone an awful lot. If I don't put my foot in my mouth once in a while, I'm a damn robot. It happens. It's just what it is. You try it. I dare you. 15 hours a week. Go talk into a microphone and not screw up. So grotesquely that you look like a fool. It's not easy. It's not. I'm just telling you. We all say dumb things because we're human, and it happens. And you move on. But it doesn't make you a terrorist, for crying out loud. Anyway, here we go. Now here we go. This is just real quick to point out the Post-Disclosure World. Hold on, let me find this real quick. It's a long article, right? There we go. Where's he at? Post-Disclosure World. There we go. All right, here we go. Straight from this article again. This is from PopSci. I'm going to link it back if you guys want to read this thing. We can't read the entire thing because it's a really, really long article. But check this out. They're going after UFO Jesus here. There you go. See, the younger generation, at least part of it, I think wanted to see action and wanted to do something, says Cogswell, a consultant with a PhD in chemical engineering, in addition to a podcaster who's been observing and participating in UFO research for years. Through a skeptical lens, of course, right? Because that's the only way you can do it, according to, right, the arbiters of truth here. They took the initial Pentagon revelation as almost a call to action. Really? Who's marching on Washington because of that crappy report? Just FYI. Nobody I know of. It continues, right? Here we go. Today, the UFO subreddit has 437,000 followers, but chatter also tends to spread through other social media where enthusiasts gather using hashtags like UFO Twitter, around 2,500 tweets per day in June, and in group DMs, Discord servers, and Facebook groups. The most popular videos of a YouTuber formerly known as UFO Jesus, whose channel is now called Post Disclosure World, have been viewed between 100,000 and 200,000 times. The number one is called Aliens Warn Government, Disclose Truth About UFOs or Else. So what's going on with this? Like I said, I don't think UFO Jesus is dangerous at all. If you don't know who he is, I'll link to his channel. I think he's trying to move the conversation forward, and I think it's not unreasonable to expect that there has been a cover-up of UFOs. But let me ask you the question. Does that make me a terrorist for thinking it? And does that make you a terrorist for listening to me talk about it on the radio and joining in the conversation? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I entirely reject that notion. If I've said something else that is specific that you could cite to maybe call me a terrorist, fine. That's a different conversation, is it not? But in general terms, no. I think it's unacceptable, and I think that pieces like this, well, should end up in the trash can. All right, we got a phone call we're going to take in just a sec. 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More conversation about a dishonest media, UFOs, and you after the break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into
welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and this is a show where we talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. So you know what they are? Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. We got a call on deck, so we're going to cut this short and get right to it. You guys know the drill. We're talking about propaganda tonight. And not just propaganda, we're talking about how people are basically allowed to malign particular groups and call them dangerous. And as I say, as the political wind changes, the definition of terrorist also changes. And I don't like it. I don't like how a lying media gets to dictate who is that, and then the complicit government goes along with it as part of an actual conspiracy, if you can believe that. Makes me dangerous thinking that, right? No. No, not at all. Anyway, sorry to keep you waiting, Robert. Let's go to Robert. What's up, Robert? You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. Thank you for waiting. How are you, my friend?
Fine. This may be a longer conversation than I've ever had when calling into your show.
Sure, go right ahead.
You just hit my sweet spot with this. You just hit my sweet spot with this tonight.
Nice.
Let's not forget that conspiracy theory was coined by the CIA right after the Kennedy assassination to tamp down on any criticisms of the Warren Report. All right, and everything since that goes against what the government wants to do, or our military-industrial complex wants to do, has been branded conspiracy theory since. Any contradictions? All right, I watched. I just had the news on in the background this morning, the cable news. All right, while I was doing some work, and it was disgusting. They only talked about two things all day long, over and over and over again, and that's the collapse of the building down there in Florida, but mostly over and over again preaching about the unvaccinated. All right, trying to wag a finger and shame people who have not been vaccinated or refuse to be vaccinated. What's that all about? All right, I don't want to get you banned from Facebook. All right, what's that all about? It's profit. All right, these pharmaceutical companies are making billions of dollars off these vaccines. All right, there may very well be, traditional vaccines that would have worked as effectively, but the whole thing is the dollar here. They want to make as much money as possible. It went from one shot now to two, and now even that won't last. You might have to actually have a shot once a year for the rest of your life. It's all profit, all right? All for profit. And the real traitors, the real conspirators are CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. They're the ones that sold their souls for $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 million contracts to say whatever corporate America wants them to say. And by doing so, they may think, well, who am I harming? Well, they're betraying the people of this country, and by betraying the people of their country, by putting out that state and corporate propaganda, they're betraying their own country. And they brought this on to where now you may be viewed as a terrorist for actually having a program on TV, on YouTube about UFOs and
right.
Conspiracies.
Right.
All right. But vegans are terrorists. Animal rights groups are terrorists. Anybody that goes against the government or the corporate line will automatically be branded a terrorist. All right. This is and who are you going to blame here? The ones you got to blame is the mainstream media, MSNBC, Fox, CNN. People listen to that and they think they're getting news, when they're, that because they call themselves news channels, they think they're getting news. They're not getting news. They're getting opinion. They're not even getting opinion. They're getting propaganda fed through a teleprompter that these people sell their souls and their country out propagating. I'm old enough to remember Walter Cronkite. He was considered the most trusted newscaster in America. All right? The difference back then was that journalists barely could get paid enough to be in the middle class. All right? So they identify with us. Joe Lunchbucket. All right? Because they were Joe Lunchbucket themselves. Via the pay that they were getting back then. But now these people get hundreds of thousands, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, millions, all right, up to millions. And they don't identify with us anymore. They're with the intelligentsia. They're with the corporations. They're with the power of anyone, and they love it. They want to stay in that group. And the last thing they're going to do is risk that for your sake or my sake by telling the truth. Look what happened to that woman that wanted to tell the truth about Epstein, all right, on ABC. I mean, she was shut down because she had it all, but she was shut down. And so when journalism became profitable, when it allowed people to reach beyond the middle class into the upper middle class and beyond, that's when it changed. You can't trust any of our institutions anymore. They all have lied to us. That's what's, and they want to say, why are American people so on edge? And the real reason is that we can't trust anybody. We can't trust any of our institutions, and we can't trust that the drug that the Food and Drug Administration approves isn't going to poison us. We can't trust that when we eat our food that we aren't being poisoned because the FDA approves a chemical to treat crops. That's poisonous. They know it, but they don't care because the corporations are their constituents. It's
which is glyphosate, right? You're talking about glyphosate? I think that's what it's called.
Monsanto's been sued, and they've been in a court. It's upheld a $2 billion judgment against them.
Yeah.
But it's the same. That's a spit in the bucket to that company. All right. And look what happened in 2008. All right. Who got bailed? The banks get trillions of dollars of our tax money.
Yeah.
Our tax money.
Yeah.
All right. And hundreds of thousands of people were thrown out of their homes. They didn't come to help us.
No.
All right.
No.
No. And they weren't thrown in jail. If they catch you in a state where it's not legal with a little toot of marijuana, you're going to jail. But these guys can rob for trillions of dollars, and they get a little fine, which is just the cost of business to them, and nobody goes to jail. We go to jail. We go to jail. Not them. We go to jail.
For far less.
This is what's happened.
From not stealing from anybody. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
For far less, for not even stealing from anybody, we can go to jail. but anyway, go ahead.
And people they propagandize us saying, ooh, socialism. All right, I get a Social Security check. That's socialism. But the point is, what that socialism really is, all that is the tax money starts coming back to us in services from the government instead of lining the pockets of people so rich they couldn't spend their money in 100 lifetimes. Why shouldn't we get what we pay in taxes back to us in some form of services? It makes us. That's why our roads and bridges are collapsing. All right, that's what our money's supposed to be for, and we don't get that. It goes to these greedy, sociopathic, evil monsters. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
and that's why everybody's packing a gun.
Yeah,
and everybody hates each other.
Yeah,
the whole country is suspicious of everybody else. It's because we've lost trust in our own government.
And whose fault is that?
And our own government has not done a thing to improve that. All it's done is put its mouthpieces into the onto the cable news networks and in the New York Times and in and in the Washington Post. They put their mouthpieces there to cover for them. And we're supposed to, and we're looking around. You know what? I get my news off the internet. I know who I can trust when I need to know the truth about something. And I'm watching you right now on YouTube. All right? I know who I can trust. All right?
Thank you. That's nice.
I'm probably going off on quite a tangent here.
It's okay. It's okay. This
is why people are packing. These are why people are loading up on guns and walk around with guns. Not because they hate their neighbor. They don't know what they hate. They don't know what they like. The whole propaganda and the whole atmosphere in this country with the propaganda and the selling us out for profit has just made people crazy. They don't, they don't know what to do.
Exactly right.
I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine because I can see all this.
Well,
I can see all this, so it all makes sense to me what's going on. But a lot of people don't know that's all going on. They're turning into MSNBC, and they want to hear Rachel Maddow do more about Trump and Russia.
Still.
They really did.
How many damn years later? Yeah.
They went 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
They went 2 to 3 years on the Russia, Trump and Putin, Russia deal. All right, that there was no evidence of. It all fell through, and people do. A lot of people woke up and said, there's something. They recognizing it now. All right, and that's why internet, the streaming on internet by independents like yourself are grabbing viewers, because that's where we have to turn to get some kind of truth about what's going on.
And not only that, the funny part is I'm not even offering anybody truth. I'm just saying, think for yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's the most embarrassing part
but
here.
You're not offering anybody lies.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, other people see it differently, but that's true. I'm not trying to lie to you either, which is a big step in the right direction, right? I don't know. Anyway, so we digress here. I appreciate your thoughts tonight. Anything else while we got you on the phone, my friend? I got more stuff to get to.
Oh, well, I'm fine. I just wanted to put this across. I'm sure that a lot of your people, a lot of your viewers know where I'm coming from just because they feel it themselves.
Absolutely. And you were spot on. You were spot on. Thanks for the call, Robert. We'll talk to you soon. That's Robert Arend. He's got a book on Amazon, by the way. The Robert Collection, Stories of a Fractured Mind. Check it out, guys. I've got a copy of that. Pretty good stuff in there. He was kind enough to send me a copy, so I like to send the word out once in a while to let everybody know that that's the man we're talking to. So, all right. Now, this is the thing, right? This is exactly what we're talking about. Now here's this is from the Night Stalker in the chat. And this is good, so I got to read it. He says, my nightmare virus scenario is that the last 18 months was just for the entire world to lose the trust of the government, so they can hit us with the real lethal quelling virus and blame the mutation/variant on conspiracy theorists for not getting the vax, while simultaneously getting rid of free thinkers. So basically, the elites extract all the wealth from the system, then hit us with the Georgia Guidestone Plan. They make a point to always toss in the blood-drinking reptilian theories and Q every time they mention conspiracies. And that's exactly where I'm going with this, is that the establishment protects itself. I've always said this, and it's a thing, all right? And so as a result, people that are locked into that world, they need an enemy, right? It's very much like 1984. Emmanuel Goldstein, right? Like, it's even unclear in Orwell's 1984 if Emmanuel Goldstein is even alive anymore or really exists. But it doesn't matter, does it? As long as you have somebody to hate, that's the goal. That's the goal of the media. And unfortunately, again, right, the conspiracies, here's the conspiracies, Operation Mockingbird, Project Mockingbird. Go look them up. If you don't believe me, go look them up. And they're and you know, the detractors will say, "Oh, come on, Michael Strange, that ended in the 60s." Are you kidding me? Do you not watch the news? Of course it didn't. They may have changed the name. It may be called something else now, but that didn't end. Well, it's well known that Anderson Cooper was an intern for the CIA way back. CIA. That's what I meant to say. If I didn't say that, it comes out weird sometimes. Funny, right? You think a thought and it comes out of your mouth strangely. Anyway, all right, that's what we're talking about here. Now this is right. All right, back to this article here, and there's more, right? There's a ton more. So you know, like I said, I don't even do a ton of watching UFO Jesus and his videos, right? Why? Like I have my own opinions. I have my own talk show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll watch stuff from him once in a while, but I still don't think he's dangerous. I just don't. That's where we're at. And this is, again, from Pop Sci. Again, I'm going to get off of this because there's more to talk about here, including censorship of thoughts and expression and all the rest of this stuff that I'm on about tonight. Because, and I'll tell you what, it does piss me off. This stuff makes me mad because a lot of it's the truth, the actual truth. So if you say this, information that comes from the mainstream media is hugely skewed in a particular direction, they lie by omission, and they twist the facts. I'm pretty sure most people would agree that's a true statement. But you know what the mainstream media would call me? A dirty conspiracy theorist. And possibly even dangerous. You see what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why we do this whole upside down business. Meaning that it seems like we live in the upside down, doesn't it? Meaning that if you think for yourself and try and figure things out, because we do live in a post-truth world, it becomes a danger. Not to the people out there that need information, not to the people that are trying to get to the bottom of things and make their life and their government better and the world around them better. You become a danger to the establishment. You become a danger to the liars and thieves that have done what they've done to this country and this world, by the way. I'm from the United States, and I'm proud of that. All right? I'm not one of these guys that craps on the United States just because whatever you want to bring up and say. Like I told you with this show, warts and all, I'll say and ah and have weird pauses and not say the right things all the time. But damn it, it's for a reason. It's to include you in the conversation. 702-957-1037. We have had a couple great calls tonight, and we've got time for you. What do you think about this stuff? Do you think that because you have an interest in UFOs, it makes you a dangerous person? Do you think maybe not directly dangerous? How about possibly dangerous, right? Because that's the type of language that's being used. It's being hedged, right? That's what I'm saying. Just like Derek said there, the Night Stalker said in the chat, they try and make every conspiracy the pineal gland, right? Pizzagate, right? They try and make every conspiracy theory blood-sucking reptilians. And this stuff is true. I don't mean those conspiracies are true. I mean it's true that they try and malign every independent thought with that type of stuff. Flat Earth. Right? Like, this is what I'm saying. I've really never gone down many of those rabbit holes on this show. But it doesn't matter because I'm an easy target and they can say I believe in any of those things. Because, of course, they won't ask me for comment. Will they? No. Looking to hear from you tonight. What do you think? A couple fantastic calls. Daryl and Robert got us kicked off tonight. The conversation is this. Who do you think is more dangerous? An establishment that lies to us constantly, backs up a government that basically steals from us, and then doesn't give us the proper representation that we deserve. Well, what is it? You can, have you ever tried, by the way, have you ever tried to send a letter to your senator or your Congress people? Has anybody here ever tried to do that? If you have, go ahead, in the chat, if you have. What happens? What do you think happens? I've done it. And guess what happens? I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you later. Remind me. I'm terrible at that, by the way. I'll say I'll tell you later, and I don't. But then I'll correct myself in the Discord chat. So if you have not joined the Discord, please, for my retractions, which I don't make any of, I do add additions for things I've left out. So join the Discord, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Also, fringe.fm/chat. Lots of smart folks there, too. Come join us and come say hi. Like I said, just because you want to think for yourself and maybe entertain some out there thoughts, it doesn't make you dangerous. I'm sorry. And every conspiracy is not Q, is not blood-sucking reptilians, is not these things that are trying to make them out to be. It's not. It's not. I'm sorry. And like I say, conspiracies are everywhere. But not everything is a conspiracy. And that falls into our laps to discern the best we can with the information we have with our own minds. Now, once again, I ask you the question. How dangerous is that? Guess it depends on who you ask, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable the world we live in. All right, so as we continue, like I said, that's the topic tonight. I've gone a little bit soapboxy and raised my voice and shook my finger. But I think sometimes you need to. Because this stuff is not funny when you start changing the term of terrorist to basically be your neighbor. Like I've said in the past, stop calling your neighbors Nazis. Just because they don't believe in your political ideology, stop it. It doesn't make them a Nazi. If you think that's the case, isn't that super convenient, right? That's super convenient. That politically, you're correct and the opposition is a Nazi. How convenient is that? It's so binary and so easy. I'm right and they are wrong. You see what's going on there? It's obvious. If you think about it, it's just so incredibly grotesquely obvious, and here we are anyway. All right, so we're taking your phone calls. I'm a little bit rambly, soapboxy tonight, but it's okay. I'm allowed, right? Am I allowed and not a terrorist as a result? This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. We're talking about conspiracy theory. We're talking about UFOs, and we're talking about thinking for yourself, most importantly. And how dangerous is that? That's the topic tonight. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. More Troubled Minds after the break. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I am your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. We're broadcasting live on digital radio. That would be the Fringe FM. And we're talking about censorship. We're talking about, as the political winds change, how the definition of a terrorism changes. And we have people pointing at the UFO community now as being possibly extremist. Not sure what to say about that other than it makes me unhappy. Double plus bad, as Orwell might say. However, we're taking your phone calls tonight if you want to be part of the show. What are your thoughts on this? Who are the real dangerous people? And is it small groups like us that get together and discuss strange things and theories? And let's throw this out there. Do we still have the right to be wrong? That's the question. Because I sure as hell hope so, because it's definitely part of what makes modern society what it is. In some places, because I realize some places you're not allowed to be wrong. The thought police are in full effect, and the second you step outside the narrative, not only will you get canceled, like maybe here, but you may be arrested, actually, in certain parts of the world. And people forget these things, right? Like we're so sheltered in the Western world with our whatever's left, our quasi-human rights, whatever we have left. We're so sheltered that we don't realize that in certain parts of the world, if you speak out improperly, It's illegal. If you call out the government for lying, it is illegal in some parts of the world. Right? And again, conveniently, we forget that. And in a country that's supposed to be the bastion of free speech the world over, instead, we try and call everybody terrorists or Nazis. You see what's going on here? It has nothing to do with any of those things. And it has everything to do with a corporate-owned government and media complex that would use our own money against us. And now I ask you one more time. Is this dangerous, what we're doing tonight? We get together a few nights a week and talk about UFOs, or we talk about the media and the things they say. So dangerous, right? Yeah, no, it's not. Go back. I've got archives, years worth of archives. And not one time have I ever said, let's storm the Capitol. Not once. Not one time have I ever said, you got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet. Right? Never have I ever implied violence of any sort. And I've even denounced it over and over and over because I believe things can change without any of that. But it depends on people that care. It depends on people that understand that concept. It depends on not bowing to a mob who would slander you, create a binary straw man out of the things you're trying to say, and basically divide and conquer. That's what this is about. We got more I'm going to get to in just a sec, because Facebook has, they've done some things. We're going to get to that in just a sec. We got a phone call coming in. If you want to be part of the show, that's, again, like I said, some nights I get a little passionate and rambly and raise my fist and point my finger and stuff, but it's okay, right? I think that's all right. We talk about enough entertaining things that once in a while you got to get real. And tonight, we're getting a little bit real. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Let's go to this caller. Matt in California, you're on Troubled Minds with Mike. How are you, my friend?
Good. How's it going, Mike?
Doing good. Doing good, my man. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Go right ahead.
I have a little funny story real quick. Okay, so this is like last week. I was at lunch break in the corner eating, minding my own business, but there's two guys having a conversation next to me. I could overhear their conversation. And they're talking about the news, and the guy goes, these are like random coworkers, I don't know. And he goes, well, if it's on the news, I believe it less, because these people are paid to control a narrative, to like distract us or, divide us, I guess. And I look at him and I'm like, did we just become friends? And so I was like, Monday through Thursday, 7:00. I don't know if he's listening, but telling him about this show. So I thought there's people out there like us. What I'm saying is there's people out there, and we just have to find them and, have the conversation. But before, it wasn't cool to be a conspiracy theorist, picked on. But now everyone's a conspiracy theorist because our news is fake, or most of our news, I could say, I guess, is, controlled. So everyone's a conspiracy theorist, really.
Yeah, agreed. First, thank you for sharing the show. Second,
as always, I gotta tell people about the show all the time.
I appreciate that a lot. But so I think this is part of the problem too, and this is why we sense it, we smell it, right? The independent media, and I'm not even I don't consider myself a reporter, right? In the end of things, I consider this just entertainment, right? That's what this is. However, it doesn't mean we can't say some truth sometimes, It's just part of what this is. And trying to get to the bottom of things is our duty, right? Like as citizens, as people of the world, if we don't know the truth, we can't act on good things because we don't even know what good is anymore. You see? And I think it's intentional. It's intentional, right?
Yeah. I said this stuff is like right in front of our face. We don't have to really be like a conspiracy theorist to know that we're being lied to. Okay, right? And that's what we're angry about. We're being lied to. I don't like being lied to. But, okay, I wanted to talk real quick about, if I can, pull over a conversation from last night from the Stephen Greer documentary we were talking about.
Go ahead.
I watched it today. And it's okay. But, yeah, I don't know, like, how he was, like, he's, like, trying to make money off of it. But some of the parts in there where he was talking about how the other people, the people that are on the news media, Jeremy Corbell and all them, the Lou Elizondo, how they're out there talking about this stuff, and how he was saying, like, they're lying, they're making it seem like it's a threat, and that disinformation is more dangerous than, like, people like us that we just want the truth. And we're just trying to have a conversation, not saying you're right or wrong or anything, or control the way we want to go. But these people that are on the news are telling us one thing. So what I said before was, like, if we're really talking about the truth, it's going to come from more people like us, like the amateurs, not the celebrities or the people that are, they're already out there. Tom DeLonge and all them.
Yeah, they are. Well,
does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And that's exactly why we should be suspicious, right? It's like I went off on that rant about George Clooney a while back. Nothing personal. It's just like, you can't trust what these people are. They're paid. They're paid spokespeople. It's like, hey, if you get this cream and you rub it on your face, you look 10 years younger. I mean, that's what you're hearing. But people are like, oh yeah, because Tom DeLonge or George Clooney, whoever said it, right? Like, these celebrities say it and then they run with it like it's gospel. But literally, they're paid spokespeople. Like,
yeah, and that can go even for like the daily newscasters.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Exactly. They're not even, like I said, there's no such thing as a reporter anymore. If somebody says a reporter, I laugh. Like, you mean you're a propagandist, right? Because guess why? There's no money in reporting anymore. There's no money in being an honest reporter. Because nobody wants that.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah.
So it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. It's always all about the money. And unfortunately, this is the world we live in. And then you say it, and then you're the terrorist. We're the terrorist. This is terrorism. It's gross, man. It's gross. The upside down. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, great stuff. Right. Great stories, man. Anything else while we get you on?
No, thanks, Mike. Have a good night.
Matt in California. Thanks for listening, man. Thanks for spreading the word. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you soon. Right. That's what I mean. It's a little bit strange, all of this. And like I said, sometimes you gotta get mad. Like, at what point? Like, at what point is it just fine, the status quo, right? For just literally being lied to constantly by the corporate media. Like, at what point are we just fine with that? And they wonder why their ratings are sinking and they suck and it's terrible, and they wonder. Like, come on, we're not stupid here. We're not stupid. All right, let's go to. We got another phone call. This is who is this? This is a number I don't know. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mike. It's Jennifer calling from Missouri.
Jennifer, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Very, very well. I'm not really mad.
Yeah.
I'm passionate, let's say.
No, you're not mad.
No.
you're just saying what you think. I think everybody is. I think the topic it's a good topic. I mean, that's funny because people who like looking at UFOs and stuff, it doesn't always just stop there. And I think that's why they might think that that's dangerous, because people who are researching these kinds of topics, sometimes, well, they should be researching it. When they start researching it, though, it requires a lot of critical thinking. And so I think they're not so much concerned about people just being happy or interested in looking into UFOs. They're more concerned that people are critically thinking about these topics, and that's dangerous. And I think that's where why they think that it could become more dangerous. If you look at the Nashville bomber, that was kind of awkward. He started the Nashville bomber who was playing the downtown and blew up an RV. Sorry, I have allergies. anyway, I mean, it didn't just stop there for people who were researching it. They started looking into it, and, you know, the media was saying that he was into reptilians and all kinds of wild stuff. Well, that was pretty targeted. A lot of people kind of felt that. I think they're like, oh, well, I'm kind of interested in that. But it goes beyond that. We knew then, when we started doing research about it, that there was stuff about the music he was playing. There was stuff about the location. You know, there was the Batman building and all of that. And then, you know, people have heard about, I mean, they start questioning everything because everybody knows with the Mockingbird, you know, Project Mockingbird, that actually was, well, everybody knows about that. So, I mean, once
real.
that began, then they're critically thinking and questioning everything. The public schools, the wars they hear about, assassinations, like we had the recent Haitian president assassinated. So everybody's digging into all of that because they've realized that they're not getting the truth in any of the news. They're getting a surface story. For some strange reason, they're being told these specific stories. So you're questioning everything you watch in the news all the time. And you don't trust them because they've already lied over and over again. And if people just keep finding it all the time because they're looking for it. And if you look for it, they know they can't hide it because it's just everywhere. Not just on YouTube. People aren't researching, these people who are critically thinking about these topics, they're not just going onto YouTube and being spoon-fed information. They're looking at etymology, calendars, time, you know, different events throughout history. They're going back into these different people's lives sometimes, you know, different politicians and where they come from. So it doesn't just stop there. So they know that people are constantly digging, that there are some people, quite a few people it seems, that now question absolutely everything. They're told. And since they're that's what's dangerous, because they're not just taking not the first layer, the second layer, the third layer. They're digging into the, you know, as deep as they can find, all the information they can find. And that's why they're dangerous, because there's no telling what kind of conclusions they will draw. And once they realize, I mean, there may be concern that what if these people should reach some kind of, you know, mass that, and then I don't know. I think that's why. I think that critical thinking, the way that these people are thinking, that they see that as dangerous because they're no longer just taking the narrative. And people who have too much time on their hands that work from home, for example, like myself, you know,
like myself,
to look at too much stuff. Yeah. So a lot of these people are the kind of people that they may think of as being dangerous because, and sometimes they talk about it and they tell other people that stuff. And then there's no telling what those people will think. And so they want to control what people think and what they're talking about. And if you have these people going around, you know, telling people, you know, stuff that sounds completely crazy, but you can back it up with all kinds of like documents and all of that, that is dangerous because you're basically just a constant detractor.
A constant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Who may go to, you know, who may do who knows what, and those people may do God knows what. And so they're worried about that, especially too since they're so constitutional. A lot of these people happen to also be very into history and stuff like that. That makes it even more dangerous. Because, oh my gosh, they may, you know, who knows what they may do. Or if they may be patriotic. That makes it even worse. Because then they may, you know, it goes on and on. So I'm sure that there are some people. But I think that also, too, I'm not so sure that they're actually that concerned at all. Because, of course, they're aware of all this. And I think it's a big, see, it always seems to be a big show with them. Like they put on about the, you know, anybody can think what they want to. And I don't think anything particular at all about the thing with the Capitol riots. But the way that they were going after those, you know, the way they're going to go after those people, I think that's all just, it's just, I don't know.
It
seems like
kabuki theater, right?
It's bizarre. Yeah, I think so. And I think that they're just doing that to kind of fire. They have a big, everyone thinks this too. I think this may be like a theme, that there's a bigger thing going on, a bigger thing. Because it seems to be that way. And one thing seems to lead to another thing. And it's like a puzzle that you're constantly trying to put together. And people are picking this up as a hobby. And I think that's probably, you know, it's the strangest, it's never happened before in history that there's been this much information. And that's why there's so much stuff about the censoring of Google and Google. I remember whenever you could go on YouTube and find so many videos about so many things. And then they became really stingy with that information and started, you know, booting channels off. Well, then we got rid of that. We just quit going to YouTube. And so people just started looking at talking to each other, brainstorming and like doing research about etymology and going into, history and all this stuff. So it just doesn't stop, and they can't control it because they've given so much information on the internet. But then you can go, I think that's what it is. But they're doing it on purpose, clearly, because they make the information available. They'd have to really completely just shut everything down. And some of that information is hidden in between common information. And they don't realize people are going to be looking at that too, and it's really strange. People are watching baseball games and keeping track of the score, not because they watch the game, but because they think it's some kind of code. Like, I've met people who think that.
I'm a baseball fan, and I've never done that, just FYI.
I've seen some, so I don't know. But that's what I think. I think that they think that critical thinking and these puzzle piece people who think this way might speak to the wrong type of people, and they may radicalize them by mistake, and therefore they're dangerous.
Well, so meaning that the only brand of radicalization allowed is their brand, because that's what the mainstream media is doing. They're radicalizing people anyway.
Well, I think that they think they want to control what kind of reaction they want, and they can't control the reaction they want if people are lighting these little fires on all kinds of topics they can't keep track of, and especially some of these people don't even have social media accounts. A lot of these people are off the grid and they're not even sure who they are. They're like ghosts. So there's all kinds of people like that, and they worry about that, and that they may. But not only that, though, I think a lot of times what we see with bombings and everything and all the terrorist stuff, that stuff seems also to be like maybe a lot of that. It doesn't matter, but a lot of people think that a lot of stuff is false flag, and so they don't even think that anybody's doing any of this crazy stuff. There's just something behind everything.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Don't forget, too, the term false flag means the incident actually happened. It's just blamed on another party. I think that's a big misconception, too, with false flags is, like the whole Alex Jones,
happened.
Sandy
People
Hook thing. Well, exactly. And so, again, I will be maligned for even bringing it up, but you say the word Sandy Hook, and then people are like, well, Michael Strange says that nobody got killed at Sandy Hook. I didn't say that at all.
No.
I didn't say that at all.
Something definitely did happen, but there was a lot of strange things going on with the real estate.
Exactly.
And around that surrounding, it just goes on and on.
Yeah. And
the witness accounts. But you just can't go, no, you totally cannot go into it because you can't control either. And you shouldn't. But the people who do hear this stuff, some people get really, but I don't know that they do. I don't know that anybody's actually, it doesn't matter. But that's what I think. I think that they consider, if you're interested in UFOs, well, you may be interested in reptilians. You may be, which I don't necessarily know one way or the other. But anyway, it just goes on and on. It's about critical thinking that their problems, that's the problem, is critical thinking. Anyway, my phone's fixing to die.
Okay.
But
thank you for the call. You're the best. Jennifer, I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Have a fantastic weekend. There you go. Good stuff, right? And this is what I'm saying. This is exactly the conversation that I think we need to have. That, from time to time, we need to just go off on the corporate media. Because what are they doing? Like, they don't take a day off. They go and they go and they go and they go. And the brainwash is hot and heavy. And in this post-truth world, we're left to figure it out. And pieces like this, again, I don't know. I don't know Sarah Scholes. She may be a great person. Probably is, right? But I don't know. Like, are we seriously considering that because people have an interest in UFOs and follow the news closely, like myself, like you guys, you're here listening to this show after all, that because of that, just simply because of that interest, it's like the conspiracy gateway drug to being an extremist. I don't buy that. I'm sorry. I just don't buy that. I do not. Like I said, cite me another one. Another UFO cult that was ever dangerous. Ever. In the history of mankind. Like I said, all I can think of is Heaven's Gate. And that was as religious or more than it was about UFOs. But that's not how it gets framed, right? That's not how these conversations go. Instead, as the political winds change, the definition of terrorist changes. It's been a theme of this show. It will continue to be a theme of the show, and we'll continue to talk about this. I don't do it often because I know it's just too much. It's like in your face, and we already know these things. Many of the things I say are like, no crap, Mike. But it still needs to be said. And so that's what we're doing. By the way, I did say earlier, has anybody actually sent a letter or called your representatives? A senator or congressperson? Has anybody done that? So I have, by the way. And guess what you get back? A form letter that they probably just print out, send to everybody. Thanks for your concern. We'll take your concern, your ideas or suggestions into consideration. Right? You call to leave a message, you get a filled up voicemail box. You can't even leave a message. You know, you get a form email that says, thanks for being a concerned citizen. Right? It's like, thanks, but no thanks. It's like, all it is like, we got your message. Right? That's it. Nothing ever changes. And so you have to make change in other ways, don't you? And like I said, and I'm going to say it again, to bookend this conversation, I don't think violence is that way. Because you have to. Because, of course, right, as the political winds change and they try and rebrand what a terrorist was and what a terrorist is becoming, it's convenient. It's awfully convenient to point to huge groups of people. So if you can just call like a little pocket of ancient astronaut theorists dangerous, then suddenly it makes the extrapolation to the entire population of ancient astronaut theorists easy to make. Conflating the truth. It's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. All right. Anyway, we're done. This conversation continues though, and like I said, sometimes you're more frustrated than others, but like I said, this stuff needs to be said. Thank you all for the great calls tonight. Thanks for a fantastic week here on Fringe. We're finishing up. We're done with this. We are done. If you're listening to the Fringe FM, stay tuned for Joe Rupe Lighting the Void. If you're listening to us on the podcast feed or DLive, Facebook, or YouTube, stay tuned for a third hour of Troubled Minds. And the deal is that. Have a fantastic weekend. Be sure, be strong, be true. Appreciate you listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. All right, guys, we are off the Fringe. You know the drill. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we're still talking about this, though. We're still taking your phone calls, and we're still wondering what the hell's going on in the world we live in. Is this part of the upside down? Is this all part of a plan where they're trying to use whatever it is, any means necessary against us? Yeah, like I said, no violence. None of the rest of that. I got a message from Joe Rupe. Maybe I'm going to contact him. Maybe we'll do the third hour on Fringe with Joe Rupe, Lighting the Void. Let me stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll do that. And let's see if we can continue doing this and talking about these things with him as well and just keep on trucking. You guys know the deal. So maybe, 702-957-1037. Taking your phone calls. I don't know if we'll be on that with Joe Rupe. We'll see. We're going to figure this out or not, and then keep on rolling. So going to put up some music. We're going to take a 2-minute break, maybe a little bit longer, just to get this set up if we're going to do it, and then I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds either way after the break. We'll be right back. All right, so I think... okay. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit here, and we'll call into the Joe Rupe Show. And we'll be on Lighting the Void with Joe Rupe. If you guys never heard him, he's actually the owner of Fringe FM, and so he said, I guess he doesn't have a guest tonight, maybe. So he wanted to know if I wanted to do a marathon and just go on to his show after. So we're going to do that. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking to Joe Rupe. If you guys haven't heard his show, he's a fantastic dude, great show, and so another hour coming up, at least another hour. Maybe we'll make this marathon style and go all the way to 11 o'clock if you guys don't get sick of my ass. But that's the thing, right? So we're talking about this weird censorship stuff. We're talking about this article by Sarah Scholes again. UFO conspiracies can be more dangerous than you think, and I don't know. Like this to me is kind of innocuous. It's not like it's once again, right? It's kind of like the second you say, look, a conspiracy is dangerous, period, right? I think that statement is more dangerous than any conspiracy you could come up with. Right? You see what I'm saying there? It's literally the exact opposite. When you try and malign every conspiracy as Q or reptilians sucking blood, like Night Stalker was saying, it turns it into an authoritarian situation, right? Where independent thought is not allowed. What's up, Kate? I see you there. What's up, Matt? How you doing? What's up, Fred? Good night, Fred. Thank you for the compliment, Fred. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta like swing your fist and get mad, not mad. Let's say again, passionate. Like I said, I'm not mad. The second you say mad, they're like, I knew it. He's a violent terrorist. He's an extremist. We knew it all along, which is not the case, of course. But anyway, all right. So yeah, we're going to be on there with Joe Rupe in just a sec. We're going to jump on and do at least our third hour with Joe of Lighting the Void. So hang tight for that, and we'll go. So we'll probably kill our phone line and run off his because he's got a better system than I do. And yeah, so we'll not be taking your calls on this line or this Discord. You'll have to call into the Joe Rupe show if you want to be part of that. So I'm still reading the chat. We're still doing our thing, and we'll still be streaming here. So that's what's up. That's what's going on. Let's see. What else? So that's what we're waiting for. He's going to get the intro out of the way, and then we're going to call in and be on the show. So let me kill our phone line. Let me do that right now. Let's do this. Get this stuff out of the way. And I'm not sure how much he was listening, but to my show, probably a little bit. So I think he knows what we're talking about. But anyway, we'll keep on trucking here. So our phone line's dead. We're going to call in just a sec to Joe Rupe, and we're just waiting, just kicking it, hanging out. And I'll say hi to the chat. And what's up, guys? Lots of good chat there. I see it on Facebook. Thank you very much, guys. Let's see. Larry, I'm not reading that. What's up, Sean from Canada? Hey, all, just saying a quick hi. And loved you all. Be back one day soon. Great. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Let's see. What else do we got? What's up? Tam says that there's social media government influencers. Yeah, backing up the system, right? Definitely. Kevin says Alex Jones was right. He was also wrong, though, right? Because he's human. He's human, It's part of the human affliction, right? Like, don't forget it, guys. Like, passion or not, we're still wrong. We were wrong too, right? But also, like I say, as part of being wrong, a symptom of that is sometimes also being right. And it can't be ignored, right? Okay, so what's up? Let's see. What's going on here? Robert says, independent media voices are abandoning YouTube and have moved to Rockfin. The biggest independent voices deplatformed and are on the verge of being deplatformed by YouTube have set up shop over there where censorship is prohibited across the board. Well, maybe they'll let me on sometime. I'll try again. I think maybe it's a Reach thing. Maybe it's the UFO thing. I don't know, because we did try and get on Rockfin, and they wouldn't let us, as per your suggestion there, Robert. Nathalie says, as much as I'm addicted to the internet like most people, I sometimes think we have too much info, whether true or not, and would be somewhat beneficial if we didn't have the internet or TV so we could learn for ourselves what is important. It's very much like Alex Jones says, right? Like he's right. It is an information war. That's what this is about. And so, unfortunately, we find ourselves in a mess. This is a mess. It's a big mess. And yeah. I don't know. That's what's going on. So we're just waiting for Joe Rupe to get ready with his intro here, and then we're going to call in and we'll be part of that show. If you guys haven't listened to Lighting the Void, good stuff, and we'll be on that in just a sec. So hanging out, reading the chat as much as I can, saying hi. Let's see. And Robert says, I only tune into Troubled Minds on my laptop at Facebook and on my TV to YouTube because Michael hasn't set up shop on Rockfin yet. Yeah, I'll try again. Yeah, remember they unceremoniously rejected me. Do they really have UFO shows on Rockfin there, Robert? I'll try again. Maybe it was a reach thing. They hadn't heard of me and something like that. So yeah. It is a mess. This whole thing is a mess. The whole disgusting media situation is just grotesque. Let's see. What else is here? There we go. What's up, Shamanics? I see you guys. What's up, Kate? Thanks for being here tonight. And so we're just waiting to go on the Joe Rupe show. We're going to be on in just a moment here, and we'll do our thing. We'll be talking to him, and you should be able to hear through this stream if you want to hear what's going on or whatever. I don't know. Crap, I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you through commercials like I usually do. I guess I could. I could just hang up from his and then call him back when he starts again. Yeah, we'll do that. So as he goes to a commercial, I'll just hang up and then call him back when we start again. So I don't have to wait 5 minutes of dead air to, that's what we'll do. All right. So just waiting on Joe to give me the okay. And we're going to do it. Let's see. Just hanging out. Just put me on the cam. Yeah. Shamanic says the mainstream media likes to throw the proverbial turd in the punch bowl, make it all taste terrible. And so as a result, right, they're kind of coming at us because we're like, hey, I'm like this. I'm like, hey, Kate, Matt, Anton, Shamanics, doesn't this punch taste like crap? Right? That's what we're doing. And they don't want us talking about that. They're like, no, that conversation is not allowed. There's a turd in the punch bowl, but nobody's allowed to talk about it, right? That's that's the thing. All right. So yeah, we're just hanging out waiting. So we're talking about this article. This is what we started with tonight. Is this UFO conspiracies can be more dangerous than you think. So that was the premise tonight, and kind of just a way to like at what point do we stop calling each other terrorists, right? At what point? It's not okay to me. And this is the type of journalism, quote, journalism that ends up causing big problems, right? Like actual big freaking problems. So, okay, yeah, what's up? We got Paul there. Yep, there. Yeah. Good stuff. I see you there on the chat saying hi. What's up on Facebook? Yeah, okay, Rockfin even has sports shows. Are you serious? Okay. All right. I'll try again. I'm glad I was nice to that guy and didn't tell him to eat shit when he rejected me. I was, when you get rejected, it's like that. Well, you don't know who you're dealing with, man. I'm Michael Strange, right? And it's not like that. It's more like, I'm a hard worker and we're going to get there, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what platform. It's, you push, you have a good conversation, you attract great people like all of you guys out there listening with fantastic phone calls and fantastic chat. And, like it seems easy, right? Because it's been 3+ years of hard work, right? Like they always say, it's like when this show blows up, it'll be like, who the F is this guy coming out of nowhere? No, it's like all those years of hard work that nobody ever considers. So anyway, what's up, guys? Who's out there? Let's see. Discord should change their name to what? What? No. What? What are you talking about, bro? On YouTube, Richard over there talking some stuff. Here you go. I'm going to put it on the chat so you could... there you go. Like, what the hell is that about? I don't know. Anyway, so we're just kind of killing time waiting for to join Joe Rupe Lighting the Void. So here's what I'm going to do, actually. My dog's outside barking. I'm going to go grab her. Don't go anywhere. I will trim this out of the podcast, but I'm going to play some music, come back, call into that show. So you guys take your break, and we'll be right back, okay? So I'm going to put this thing up, and we're going to play a little more music, and I'll call him in just a sec, and we'll be on with Joe Rupe. But here you go. Some music for you, and I will be right back to get my dog, and we'll be on Lighting the Void in just a sec. Be right back. Oops. All right, let's keep on trucking until it's time to go. So I got some more stuff I want to talk about here. Check this out. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Now, this is Sarah Coles. She actually wrote this book called They Are Already Here, UFO Culture and Why We See Saucers. So it's kind of like we had an academic on the show a while back, and he was trying to explain away the abduction phenomenon as a symptom of hyper-reality, okay? And that show's on the podcast feed if you want to go listen. It was difficult for me because basically this guy was kind of saying that everybody who's been abducted is lying, right? I mean, that was the premise. It's like, you know how academics do their thing, right? They kind of go around, beat around the bush and say this or say that just so they don't have to say, well, I think all these people are full of crap, you know? Like that was kind of the crux of it. But he was saying it nicely that it's no fault of their own, as if they're kind of a victim of hyper-reality, meaning that we don't know fact from fiction, and talking about some different things, right, regarding specifically like there's a thing called a birth. What was it, like the birth hypothesis or something like this, where, right, like there's like a embedded memory in all of us, the birth canal as we're being born. And then so the academic here said that there's, it's a theory that under times of a particular trauma or stress or some other things, that we go back to parts of our memory that are like that. And the reason why all the abduction experiences are similar are because we're remembering the one of those things like that we all have in common. So it's just weird, right? It's like I don't know, like I get it. I understand being a skeptic, right? So think about it this way. Like, this is the craziest part of this conversation about UFOs. We've got Dr. Stephen Greer, like we were saying last night. He's like, by the way, the aliens are here, and there's a thing called exo-racism, right? And it's like, wait, what? Like, let's see an alien first. That was my point last night. Let's see the alien first before we start claiming racism, right? But then we have people like the skeptical side that are like, no, there's no such thing as aliens. They do not exist, period. And you see, like, just the gamut of like those two discussions are so far apart. Post-truth world, right? The post-truth world. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's see. So anyway, so she's got a book called They Are Already Here. This is Sarah Scholes. Like I said, I kind of don't want to crap on her. Now, this is the important thing. This continues. Is Facebook issuing new warnings about extremist content? Right. All right. This is from Snopes. I'm going to link this, and you guys can check this out. Now, this is what Facebook is doing. Right. Maybe you guys saw this reported in some of the news or whatever was happening, but this is next level stuff. Right. Meaning that if you listen to this show, you might get like a a message from Facebook that says something like this. Not kidding. Here we go. The message reads this, straight from Facebook. Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist? We care about preventing extremism on Facebook. Others in your situation have received confidential support. So right. So the second they label me a terrorist, which could be nothing farther from the truth here, me being a terrorist, that's absurd. That's absurd. But right, like I said, the second they redefine terrorist to include somebody like me, then I'm included in that. Jay says, I got that Facebook message. See? This is the type of stuff going on, right? And so, and this is the world we live in. Yeah, there it is. This is from Reuters.com, and they're discussing this as well, right? Where we have whatever the hell's going on. So now not only is Facebook not allowing you, they're censoring, right? They're self-censoring. Meaning that they don't allow you to see particular things. Like, for instance, if they take my page down, they're not allowing you to see me on Facebook, right? Or other platforms. They're not the only ones, so to be fair. But they're adding this now new notification that says you may have been experienced, or it may have been. Where's the actual blurb? Oh, my dog's over here chewing a stick. There it is. Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist? Yeah. We care about preventing extremism on Facebook. Others in your situation have received confidential support. And then here's another one. Michael, you may have been exposed to harmful extremist content recently. violent groups try to manipulate your anger and disappointment, you can take action now to protect yourself and others, right? Which means what? You get support? Get support from experts. Spot the signs, understand the dangers of extremism, and hear from people who escaped violent groups. Yeah, right? That's what's going on here. That's what's going on with this. Yeah, let's go to Jay real quick here, and before we jump on lighting the void, and let's talk to Jay real fast. What's up, buddy? You're on Troubled Minds. How are you? Oops, that wasn't good. What's up, man? You there? Jay in New York.
I'm here.
What's up, buddy? You got this message, did you? Oh shit! All right, I'm going to do that. We're going to stay here. All right, you got the message, did you?
I think so. Hold on one second.
The Facebook message?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Does it tell you?
Yeah, it came up in an article. It came up in an article. It came up in an article, and then there's always a little commercial or everything else like that, and it was it was in the article that I was reading. It was because they're tailored articles, and what you pick on your things, underneath the YouTube video or whatever you're watching, there's a little, I don't know, pop-up bar or whatever it is underneath of it with a commercial that starts with the first 5 seconds of Penny's do it too. Sometimes they're Penny had the weirdest one ever because she's from the UK, and they had something about how voter suppression laws were on. I was like, wow, that's a weird one for Penny in the UK. So I'm like, oh, that's got to be absolutely tailored for me, Yeah. But yeah, those they pop up. But that same one that you did, my Uncle Dan posted something today, and I clicked on it, and you get the little, 5-second commercial before you can skip the ad. You know what I mean? Do you?
Yeah.
When you watch a video on Facebook?
Yeah. So I haven't seen it myself, but apparently this is just being rolled out and it's happening. So have you actually got any, can anybody let me know if we get you've been possibly exposed to extremist content if you listen to this show? Can you let me know if that pops up, please? I'd very much like to know. Yeah, right? Not this show.
It's definitely messed up, I mean, the ads that pop up in there are really, it's messed up. But that same one that you had on the thing, I noticed the picture of the girl. That's because I'm looking at it in the smaller screen with the chat on the side. So I recognized the girl when you put it up there and started talking about it. I was like, hey, I saw that today.
Really, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, that's odd, but yeah, is that in itself a form of censorship?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We're going to make you think, okay, you're listening to these people, these guys, going to get you to drink Kool-Aid and wear white sneakers and
I hope not that.
Out in Arizona or something.
Exactly. So and this is the conversation tonight, right? So not only are we discussing that, kind of the mainstream media at large is, decrying anybody who has their own theories or narratives as potentially dangerous. Now we have, Facebook warning you that you may have been subjected to dangerous talk. I mean, it's weird. This is the weird stuff. This is the weird stuff. That's not again, right? Where is the outcry about this? This should literally be front and center, and people should be like, "Come on, bro." Come on, man. Right? This
they're just hoping people don't notice. You know what I mean? They're just the whole thing with now they want you to have a third prick within 6 months of the second. Came out today.
Yeah.
Just, that's okay, but how many you need? You need it every 2 weeks or something?
Right. Right.
How long before they start costing you money?
Well,
you can't go into Walmart without them begging you for it. They want to go door to door,
Yeah, they're going door to door. That's the next thing too. That's the next thing. Can you believe this? Imagine this. Imagine if a year ago, and Ash and I didn't even go that far when we were talking about this in January before the COVID thing started to break out, right? To quote, break out. if we had said they're going to come door to door and encourage you to get vaccinated, people would have been like, "You are insane! You guys are nuts!" And
you got that foil wrapped way too tight,
way too tight, man. And look, they're doing it. The redhead Jen Psaki said, "Oh, by the way, we're going to be sending people door to door." It's like, oh god, chick, come on.
We have another health emergency in New York State. I posted in the Discord. I don't know if you caught it or not. I don't want to say it unless you saw it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. No. Is it a new variant or some? Oh, is it? It's the gun control. It's the gun control, right?
Yeah, I wanted you to say it first. That's all.
Okay, all right.
It's your show, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so the gun control is now a considered a emergency
public health care.
Public health.
It's
hazard.
a public health care. Yeah. So they got an executive order, and the same person that was in charge of the COVID restrictions and everything else like that is in charge of the guns.
Oh, that's handy. That's handy.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Yeah, so and you see how they conflate these things, right? So last I checked, the Second Amendment what is known as an inalienable right. Now, again, just for me saying that puts me on another list, right? And it's in the same bucket as free speech, right? So free speech is what it is, and then the Second Amendment is the backbone of free speech, right? If one crumbles, you have the next. And so if you can do away with the second, then you can bastardize the first. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, well, just check out the Bill of Rights. Type in Bill of Rights. And there's five. There's five that are incredible. And basically the gold standard of human rights in the world, in my opinion. And it's crumbling. It's being attacked on all sides. And like I said, if I hear a, quote, bipartisan bill, it makes me suspicious because I think they're coming for our rights. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the thing, right? That's the only thing they seem to agree on anymore is that politics on both sides. They're like, oh yeah, we should do that. It'll give us more power and less power to the people. We'll all sign that. Thanks, Anton. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you later. Let's see. Paul says it's all about making money. Richard says it's a damn disgrace. Yeah, right. It's a damn disgrace.
I do wanted to say something you were talking about earlier in the show about has anybody ever written a letter to the senator or something like that? We've actually written letters to the president and stuff like that and gotten a response back, but they were things like, so-and-so scout and troop such and such got their Eagle Scout, and you got a form letter signed by the president, congratulations. But during the whole ordeal last year when New York got completely shut down and everyone got told to go find unemployment, we called the senator here, and he actually called us back personally and talked to us, name, date, rank, serial number, and all that stuff. And then 2 weeks later, we started getting, things taken care of. But he's not run for senator. It's the local level, not the state level, not the federal level, because our federal guy is Schumer. I shouldn't admit that. People probably throw rocks at my house when they drive by.
He's actually your guy. That's
he's my guy.
Oh my goodness.
That's I got a guy.
I know a guy.
I got a guy.
He's one of the dirtiest in the business, but I know a guy, and he doesn't.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Oh, geez.
But no, the local guy. But he quit, and he's running for local sheriff. He's not running. They wanted him to run for governor and everything. They were pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. He got crap done. Got crap done for the people ODing on heroin, because that's a big problem up here because we're a rural area. We got problems with that stuff in those kind of areas. But yeah, he did a lot of good stuff for the people here. And I can't play this game is basically what he told everybody. He goes, I just want to be the sheriff. Because he was the deputy sheriff. He got appointed when Libas died. He was a good senator here, but
is there such a thing anymore? There's actually such a thing as a good senator now.
Actually, Fred Ashkar, he was a really good, state level senator in New York. He was helping me out with the temple grants and all that whatnots. He really was. I mean, he liked the idea. I mean, it took a lot of work. I mean, he had to go to him with a business plan and everything else like that. But yeah, there's some. If you're on their plan, probably exactly. If you're on their plan, they're probably more than willing to help you out. But if you're not on their plan, oh yeah, we'll take note of it and put you in the 3,000-mile long group of letters and get to it when 64 guys have passed through the office.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like I said, if and that, I think that's the I think it is. I think honestly that quote illusion is actually breaking down now of all the things that they say, right, that they have our the people's interest at heart and all this stuff. I think it's breaking down. Like people see through it, and like people were saying in the last show, it's like you try and figure out why. Right. And like people want to know why, like, wait a minute, how come everything is broken? How come I go, to like I pay taxes and then I pay taxes on my wages and then I pay sales tax and then I have to register my car and pay that tax and I have to pay this tax and the other tax and all these other taxes. It's taxes on top of taxes. Like I said, don't get me started. But right, it's like
what Beachwood put in the Discord the other day about going to some guy's painting his house. They're getting 99% of it one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. And
in Virginia, we were just at, they tax you on food.
Well, exactly.
Milk. I had to go buy milk, bread, and yogurt for the kids, when we showed up there because that's what they have for breakfast. And it was like, $1 something more. And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, we have 12% sales tax here. And I'm like, on food? You tax food?
Yeah.
That's food. Odd.
Even food. Yeah, I mean, it just stacks up, and like I said, I've said this before, and I think it's true that I don't think the tax structure is in place for the money. I think it's in place to keep people from succeeding. I think that's what it is. Like if they can print money at will, like they just did, right? They print money every damn year, and there's literally no amount of taxation they can do to stem the tide of the spending. Because they're spending like out their ass and we're not getting any of it. Like that's the worst part, right? And any people say, oh, come on, Mike, you drive on the roads and right, you got the public works and the this and that and the yeah, right, maybe. But really, is that like commensurate with the amount they spend? Of course not. Of course not.
You want to hear something that's funny that I noticed? That
go ahead.
This is my tinfoil wrapped super duper tight around my head. Is that when we were completely shut down, they sent you a card that you could go to the ATM and pull out money or use to buy your groceries or pay your rent or whatever. So I was going to the ATM and pulling the money out and putting it into my bank account every single time. They were all sequential bills, brand spanking new. And when you take them to your bank and put them in, they put them in the reader. So they come out of the reader and they go into the reader. So they know exactly who picked up what money, where, where'd that money go? What I sent to you was from one of those bills. Do they know that came from New York because it came from the ATM at Main Street?
I hope not.
Well, I hope you spend it at the tables, but just, you understand what I'm saying is that, I mean, when you're printing new money all the time, think about that when you go to the ATM. Is it new money? Are there sequential bills? Not now as much as it was when we had the money shortage and the change shortage, but when the change shortage and the money shortage was, everything that came out of the ATM was sequential bills. And that was just one of those things that I found really, really odd.
That's very odd. That's very odd.
Yeah. Like every single time.
Like it's coming straight from the Federal Reserve, right? Just like printed and bam, like or conjured in real time from the ATM.
So highly possible, I've got another thing that I do that's really crazy too, is I collect those gold dollars and stuff like that. So every once in a while, when I have extra money or something like that, I'll buy a whole roll. The brand new rolls are straight from the mint, never been touched, wrapped in the plastic that they come from the mint in. Not re-rolled or nothing. Pennies too. Check out the pennies when you go to the store. They're all 2020. It's weird things. Little teeny tiny hints everywhere, Mike. I think they have to tell you. They have to tell you, but they don't have to really tell you. They're not lying to us. They're just telling us such a small fraction of the truth that it flies right over the top of our head. You know what I mean? Because we can't catch it. Because we don't know anything else. You know, we're looking all over the place for something, and then that one little lob ball goes right over your head. They hit a home run, and we don't even know it. We've probably been doing it for, I don't know, since they made money. You know, God only knows how long they've been playing this game. Politics and money and censorship. And
yeah, the weirdness, too, is that, right, so what's supposed to happen is they're supposed to move a particular amount of money out of circulation as it becomes beat up, right? I think that's the process, what we're told. And then they issue new money to replace the old money, right? So you take the old beat-up S pennies and dollars, you officially incinerate them or melt them down or whatever it is, and then you print new money to replace the old money. However, does anybody actually believe that's the process, the full process?
Well, I have been to the Mint before, and I've seen the shredder. You know, they do actually shred it. You know, but how much? You know, you think about all of the money. I mean, they could shred a whole crap load of it, like they do with the Second Amendment things that they pick up in drug deals and everything else like that. They show you driving the bulldozer over them and throwing them through the shredder and stuff like that. That's a drop in the bucket, you know, even if it looks like there's 100,000 of them out there. You know, they can't. You know how many people got stuff stashed that they've probably written off as lost, burnt, stolen, whatever? You know,
yeah.
They don't even know how much money's left out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's the thing here is part of the upside down, part of this whole business we're talking about. It's crazy, right? Let's get back to that Facebook thing that, just like, so now if you've been exposed to an extremist content, now think about it this way, right? If Facebook was actually dedicated to removing extremist content, don't you think that they wouldn't have to put out, you may have been exposed to extremist content, right? So it's kind of like, well, not only did we fail to remove it, well, meaning that, so not, let's say it's removed, right? Like, because it's clear to me if like literally if like a particular group is calling for violence, right? Take them down. It's simple. It's simple. But what it means is,
I don't think you should ever incite violence. I mean, violence doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't do anything. You know,
people end up.
And the end of the day, nothing. Yeah, well, even if they don't end up dead, you know, I mean, hurt or possessions lost, burnt, whatever, you know, it doesn't get you anywhere. You know, this gets us somewhere. You know, people call in, they have a civil conversation about it. You know, that's how you get somewhere. You have a civil conversation. You don't get there by, all right, you know, I'm going to take you out behind the, you know, school and beat you up, you know, because I know I'm right and you're wrong. You know, that doesn't get you anywhere. Well, why do I think I'm right? Why do you think you're right? Let's talk about it. And, you know, that's probably the better way to do it.
I'm sorry, Jay, but you were far too reasonable. You were far too reasonable. You must be a terrorist. You must be a terrorist.
Exactly. The reasonable calm guy has got to take you know, anger management classes to get a, you know, handgun permit, you know, but the guy who can buy it off the street can walk into the whatever and rob somebody and be out of the jail in an hour and a half with a appearance ticket. New York State. Gotta love it. It's in the beginning of the show when Daryl called in. She was all fired up and was like, yeah, you can tell she's from New York. She's fed up with all this crap. She's not joking. But, you know, the thing with the Facebook, maybe they had to put that out is because we've been exposed to their ideas. Maybe that's why they're doing it.
Right. Yeah, no. Well, yeah. Well, so point being that, right, like if they've removed it all, then why are they like kind of, basically it's like, so not only are they kind of going overboard removing stuff, which they're doing, then also they're like, oh, by the way, you may have been exposed, right? And then so it's another way of kind of like breaking through your reality, right? It's like, wait, what did I watched, you know, NBC today, right? It's like
they lied. They lied to you,
right? They lied to you, or whatever.
Well, I mean, think about it when they make the whole things, like with the Washington Post or any of those guys. You know, they made comments a year ago and stuff like that, and they were wrong. And they have like a little not even a high school kid's journalism paragraph on page 359 on the very bottom in fine print saying, "Oh, we were wrong." They don't. It's okay for them to do that. Oh, we made a mistake, but they don't put it on the front page in 3 months in a row that we made a mistake. But they can put it on the front page that it was wrong, even if they know it's wrong in the beginning, as long as they say they were, wrong at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The media's done. I mean, I think people have really done that. I mean, you look at the people that are going to alternate sites for their information now. I mean, Rumble is really taken off. They're getting lots of people. You look at the Facebook posts, a lot of them are from Rumble. That BitChute you're starting to see everywhere now. And I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's been going for a while, but it's got all kinds of upload issues and like staying like live. Like
they're new,
It's not that new. Like that's the thing. Like I heard about BitChute years ago, but it's just been plagued with problems. So it's like it's hard. The thing is, right, when you have all the money behind something like Facebook or YouTube, like what we're doing right now, live streaming is expensive. Like actually, like feeding video out is extremely expensive like this. And then not only that, then you got to archive like these many gigabytes of data just to have this show up. So that's part of the problem, right? It's kind of like they have all the money, so as a result of it, they're able to say, well, tell you what they can pay for and what they can't. But anyway, yeah, I digress. I don't know.
No, I mean, but that in itself is censorship too. Well, in order for you to play the game, you have to have bought at the bottom of Dogecoin and sold right before Saturday Night Live hit. It's just that's wrong too. You should be allowed to have your voice. I mean, I understand it costs money for the internet connection and the microphone, but the more and more I talk to you, well, now you got all this stuff sitting around in the cloud, and that probably costs X amount of money a month.
Yep.
I know that in order to be on Rumble, if you want to live stream or something like that, it costs you about $100 a month because. I told you I wanted to try to do something with Penny and her kids and stuff like that, just because I thought that would be a cool segue to keep me from getting agitated all the time. You know what I mean? Let's have a funny something nice. Take the kids to the zoo and put it on YouTube, because everybody's sitting at home. But
yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, though, is that's going to be like $100 a month to be able to have that ability to do that. It's crazy that all of those things cost money for a stupid little video to do it live. That's the thing. This is live. That's right. Am I right in that?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Except we could do it ourselves, right? But again, back to the point of, so video is basically a luxury. I mean, we don't really need video, right? So we could always just post the links directly in the Discord and just like have an audio feed. And that's cheap. Like that can be done. We could do that ourselves through our own website, through troubledminds.org, right? You guys just would literally go to the website and hit play. We'd be live and that would be that. We could do that. We have that technology. So the video is basically just a luxury. And discoverability to like these, bigger search engines and platforms and things like this. So, it is what it is. Like, fine, you get to see what I look like, right? But literally, does it really add that much to a conversation? How, being able to look at that and, have the article up in real time? Probably a little bit, but like enough to. It's
nice. It's nice that you can read what you're. I mean, okay, the guy's not full of crap. I don't know if you're on the radio or not.
No.
When you're posting an article next to your little picture with the earth spinning or the spheres in the background or whatever and stuff like that from the Washington Post or wherever it's from, and you're highlighting and reading the section that you are like you do on your news show, which I can't watch video on live. I can only listen to for streaming issues, whatever they are. I can't figure it out. But yes, that's good. That's really good, because people can see it. I don't even have to go and read the article because I know you did. I see it. Like, I knew that Facebook warning of I might have been exposed to extreme thoughts or whatever was just because of the picture of the girl next to it. That was in the little 5-second thing before the YouTube video started. Yeah. I mean, that probably is important, you know? I don't know the cost analysis on it, so I don't know how important, you know, maybe it's not that important.
Yeah. Well, again, it's all relative too. It's all that stuff is relative, but still, like there are ways to be able to get this done without using them, right? But then you lose all the discoverability and all this other stuff. But there are ways around that too. So it's like if you're clever, you can get shit done, and you don't have to play the game. You don't have to play their game. You really don't. And you know, and eventually, some point. But you see what happened recently with, you know, the whole Trump stuff, and like, you know, if you vote red, you're a terrorist, and all this other stuff, right? The January 6th, and all this other stuff, where they actually had what was it? What was the name of that parlor, right? Where literally, so not only can they just
they were taken off like wildfire
because everybody's tired of the censorship. So then they started going to Parler, and then what happened? They ended up doing whatever they had to do. To Amazon took them down, the servers and stuff.
Apple took them down. You can't even download the app. I tried to do it. I was one of the last. I set an account up and everything else like that, and it was pending. And I went to check it the next morning, and it was gone. Couldn't access it. The site is down. That 404 thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. 404 taken down. All right. So I got a confirmation here. I'm going to call into Lighting the Void. So here's the deal. We're going to, like I said, if you want to be a part of the show now, we're going to use that phone number. I'll read it out and pin it up here so we're all on the same page and let you know. But I'm going to keep streaming here so you can listen here, and you'll be able to hear Joe Rupe through this setup, I'm pretty sure. Let me know if there's a problem with that. It should be fine. And we're going to keep on talking about, I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about, but I hope it's something similar.
Should I give you the quote now?
Yeah, let's do the quote. Let's do the quote before we do it. Let's do the quote, Jay.
When you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help them stuff, you tell them what they want to hear. Dr. Thomas Sowell.
Oh, Thomas Sowell. That'll get you on a list, too.
Damn it, Mike. Always?
Always.
Every time. I liked it. I thought it was good for the show.
It is good. I'm saying Thomas Sowell, he speaks too much sense to not be considered, he's basically saying, like, anyway, if you guys don't know Thomas Sowell, that was a fantastic quote. Thank you. Sowell. Thomas Sowell. Check it out. Check the dude out. Just check out some of the quotes he has. Like I said, he makes too much sense. And that's part of the problem, right? We live in the upside down. And so Thomas Sowell is not kosher. He's not okay. He's not okay with the establishment, because when you make too much sense, you start breaking things down. All right, Richard, thanks. Have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see. All right. Yeah, good one. That's a good one, Jay. Do more Thomas Sowell in the future, just so we can get on more lists.
I just try to pick something that's along the lines with the show. You know, I listen to it and stuff like that, and I pick ones I see during the day. And
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But then when you're talking about stuff, I'm like, oh wow, and then I don't know. I start looking for something that's appropriate.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So I think let's see what's going on here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bump you out. I'm going to call into this thing. We're going to keep on doing this, but hopefully with Joe. So what I'll do is I'll hang up for the commercials, and then we'll talk here, and then we'll be back doing our thing. So nobody go anywhere. We're going to have an extended show tonight, and we'll talk to Joe Rupe. If you guys don't know Joe Rupe, again, he's the from Lighting the Void. He's the Fringe FM owner, and yeah, there we go. All right, so let's move you out. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for the quote. We'll talk to you soon.
Good night, Mike.
Talk to you tomorrow for the news show, if you can make it. Thanks a lot, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night. Ow. Ow. All right. I think we're going to do it. Let's go. Let's try this. Is it the 800? I'm going to call the number. Let's see. All right. Hold on, guys. I'm calling the number. Let's try this. Let's do it. All right, we're still streaming. This is, again, you're listening to Troubled Minds. You guys know this, but we're going to call into Joe Rupe Lighting the Void show and see if we can make something happen here. Let's see. What can we do? 1-800. 1-800-588-588-0335. All right, you'll get to hear it. Here we go. Let's see what happens. See what happens.
In there, I don't, and I'm sitting in there, and like every stoplight feels like I'm going to die. Every single one of them.
That's yeah. That's not good.
And dude, it's so stressful on the body too. I'm telling you, because after a while you start I get like heat mad. You know.
Yeah, it's called exhaustion.
All right, you guys.
Somebody that's in front of me has a freaking like air conditioner, and they're slowly like turning. You know, and I'm like, would you go? I ain't had any sleep, right? I'm burning up to death.
Phone number on lighting the void.
And they're looking at me like I'm crazy, you know.
He's waiting for me to come through.
Anyways, 530 area code. You're on the air. Make sure you got your radio off. Though, who are you speaking with?
Michael Strange from Trouble Lines. How are you, my friend?
What's up, Michael?
Hey, man. I'm just trying to be part of the lighting the void thing. Is it okay if I'm a void walker for?
Yeah, dude.
You okay with that?
It's totally fine. Your voice is a little muffled, but it's totally fine. Are you on your show right now?
Yeah, I'm still streaming. I'm still doing it.
Oh, what's up? What do you call your people? Like troubled-minded people?
I call them. I don't know. I'm not sure there's a good word for it because you know how labels are these days. Once you start labeling people, there's a problem. Is the audio that bad? I'm using Google Voice. I can call you back with Skype or something.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
Well, I'm proud to be a void walker. I got a tattoo on it, but it probably is a bad thing. You're probably right.
Yeah. You know, well, I don't know about that.
I stay in a confused state all the time.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's part of being human, man. So I don't know. You got somebody on the phone? Is they still on the phone? You got a guest here tonight? What's going on? I missed it because I was streaming.
Dan's here.
What's up?
What's up, Mike?
What's up? What are we talking about tonight? I've been talking about censorship and some other things, but this is your show, Joe. What are we doing now, man?
Censorship. Yep, they're still censoring you. Yep. I was talking about like how hot it is in Death Valley.
It's hot.
Like it's 134 freaking degrees out there. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it's not here in Arizona. You live in Nevada, right?
Yeah,
you live in Vegas, right?
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah.
So. How hot does it get there? Does it get into like 125 and stuff?
Yes, 125 degrees. I've been there when it was that hot.
No. Like, so probably Phoenix.
Yes.
Well, Phoenix probably gets to be.
No,
like,
I was there when it was 125 degrees back in 1997. Yeah, about that.
Okay. Well,
yes,
it doesn't. Let's say that's rare. So, like on like an average July, like we're probably like 110 today. So it's not 125. We're not quite like Death Valley style. Phoenix is hotter than us, believe it or not, because they're at sea level, and we're like 2,000 feet up. So we have a little bit cooler just on elevation style. But yeah, it's hot. I mean, like at some point, right? Once you get past 125 or 110 anyway, it may as well be 125, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your best friend is the nearest place that has air conditioning.
Which I never leave, by the way. Always air conditioning, 100%. That's how you do it.
And that's how most people live. Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to try to complain about something that didn't sound like I was a whiner. So if it gets to like 130 degrees, I could complain about it, and that's normal, right? That's a normal human thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. Hot. Yeah, for sure. So you're in Arizona, so it's a little bit different there. You guys get hotter than we do. So I've actually been in weather, no joke, where I was pumping gas. This was in Bullhead City, Arizona, and it's sea level, and it's one of the hottest places in Arizona, and it was like 126, and it was like a dust storm. Right, it started to swell up, and I'm pumping gas, and I'm like, "Oh God, this is going to suck." And so it starts blowing in my face. So I turn around. I'm wearing shorts and a tiny T-shirt because it's too hot to do anything else. And the sand is hitting me from the sandstorm in the back of my legs, and I feel it burning me. Actually burning my legs. The sand is so hot that's blowing in from the desert in this. Yeah. So it's a thing, man. At some point, you're allowed to complain. How about that? We can say that.
Oh, yeah. I used to live in Vegas. So I lived on off of Sahara, right? So over by Sahara, if you go towards going towards Lake Mead, there used to be a strip mall down there, and so I worked at the Quaker State Minute Loop over there. So everybody used to come from California and have their oil changed, and I used to work the pits during the summer. I know how hot it gets.
Yeah,
and all we had was a swamp cooler.
Yeah, definitely.
Not fun.
No, guys in the chat, this is Joe Rupe. Joe Rupe, not Joe Rogan. Joe Rupe. Don't insult him like that.
And the other Joe, yeah.
The other Joe. The slightly less known version.
Yeah.
No offense to Joe Rupe.
Step away, Joe. What the hell? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out my entire life right now in the next 5 minutes. So
nice.
You know.
Nice. Yeah, but yeah. So if we're just are we just free balling it here? Are we just shooting the crap?
Yeah, dude, we're free balling it. That's exactly.
All right.
It's so hot. We're free balling it now. You know.
Yeah. I'm with you. Well, that's why I asked, because in my third hour, I usually just take my pants off or my shorts off because we don't wear pants in Vegas. So I understand. I'm with you guys. I'm totally with you guys. All right. All good. So we were talking censorship and the rest of that stuff. Did you guys see this thing with Facebook where, so not only are they taking people down off of the internet, clearly, for doing extremist things like we're doing right now, getting together and having a conversation. Now they're actually alerting people that they've been exposed to extremist information. It gets worse and worse. Yeah. That's what we were talking about.
I've seen that already with a few friends of mine on there, and I'm like, good. To me, that's a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor. I'm like, wait.
I've never had. A lot of people get kicked off of stuff. I don't ever get kicked. I don't get kicked off of anything.
Post a lot. That's why I don't post a lot to the Fringe FM on Facebook, because I'd have you shut down in a heartbeat.
I mean, even that guy, I forget what his name was, who literally he came on the show. He talked about everything he ever does gets kicked off. They got into his bank accounts, all this other stuff. My show literally goes so unnoticed. He did a show with me, and it stayed up there. It's still up there. I forget the guy's name. Dean. What was that guy's last name? Anyways, I've never been sent. Well, I got censored on Twitter once, but I even retweeted something somebody said, and then they shut down my account. But that person that said the thing, they didn't shut down their account.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You're not saying the wrong things, Joe. You got to be saying more of the wrong things. You're letting us down, buddy. Come on.
I'm just tired of. I'm tired. That's how I started the show. I'm just tired of worrying about can I just be on this planet and everything be cool? Can I just say something without it directly affecting something crazy? Isn't that part of censorship? They censor you enough, and people start censoring you enough. They start making you feel like you're crazy, or you're saying just the most god-awful stuff. So they just take you down, man. That's like a manipulation. Facebook and YouTube and when everything first started, they welcomed anything you did, man. You could literally, I don't know, murder somebody on YouTube, and they would put it up, when it started.
I miss
those days.
They were actually doing that too, weren't they? Actually, that was happening.
Yeah.
I'm
not condoning murder.
You could see a murder
don't do
on YouTube. Yeah,
don't do
I'm
that.
sure somebody took it that way or something. I'm just saying, you could do whatever you wanted to. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Now it's like the whole damn world has become super sensitive about everything. Everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're gonna get me riled up, bro.
That's fine. Let's go, dude. I've been raising my voice and shaking my fist for 2+ hours now, going on a third. So, dude, let's get riled up, man. Like, this is the type of stuff that people need to hear once in a while. I think too much, and they get pissed off also, right? You don't want to piss people off. But for crying out loud, if we're not talking about this, who is? That's the way I see it. Every once in a while, you got to get riled up, man. How you feeling? Does it feel like a riled up night to you?
I feel exhausted. I took a leak a while ago. I think I probably couldn't even fill a shot glass with it. That's not good. And I've been drinking water like crazy. I feel exhausted. I'm not getting any freaking sleep. I can't think straight. I got people making major life decisions on me, coming out of nowhere from left and right. This person, that person, another person. And I'm still not, I have to stay cool, calm, and collective and just be this passive person, or I'm always going to it's going to be a nightmare, I'm afraid to speak, dude. I'm afraid, to be honest with you. I'm really angry. I'm afraid I'm going to really pop off. Okay. All right. Not to mention censorship. So you're just stacking stuff on, Michael.
Well, hey, man, it is a troubled mind after all, and I think every once in a while you gotta let some steam out. That's what I was doing tonight, man. I was just letting some steam out, because why the hell not, man? We've been talking about weird stuff, UFOs and aliens all week, but man, sometimes you just gotta, shake your fist at the man and scream back, That's what was on deck tonight. That's I'm kind of over it, but I'm also ready to go back for some more if that's what it takes.
Well, you should have heard Tim Doyle on here last night. He was the same way. I heard that man say things that but all of what he said needed to be said. I'm sorry. If you feel strongly and passionate about something, you be offensive. I challenge everybody to be a little offensive. Everybody. I challenge you to be offensive.
I was just offensive on the chat room.
As long as it's your truth. I wish this was like Fight Club. Your homework assignment for tonight is to make sure that you're offensive to somebody as long as it's your truth. And then I want you to literally not give a damn what it does to somebody else and be okay with yourself. How many of you can do that? That's your void walking homework assignment.
I think I just got put on another list, Joe.
I just did that Tuesday. I just did that Tuesday live on air.
Nice. You have to. Yeah, stop caring so much. We got to care for each other, but you can't be walking on eggshells all the time. You just can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not a life.
I can't do it.
That's a quality of life that has none.
Can't do it. So, yeah, I think that's kind of what censorship does to you. It makes you walk on eggshells. That's what we're doing. We're walking on eggshells online. We can't have cool shows. That's why I've been playing this rap music and cursing, and you guys know how I am about cursing on the radio, right? But here lately, I really don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. My name's Sam. I don't give a damn. I think it's almost like being a rat, like a rat that's been suffered, and you take the rat and you just keep squeezing that box and making the labyrinth smaller and smaller and smaller until the rat chews its way out, And then you look at that crazy-ass rat. You're crazy. You're so freaking crazy,
but
rat.
It's not even a symptom of a singular rat. There's more to it than that. I could go on a tirade. Have you ever heard of Rat Utopia?
No, what is that?
So there was an experiment back in the 70s. I forgot the guy who actually did the experiment itself. But they took this population of rats and they gave them everything they needed to survive. They had the best food, as much water as they could drink. And the only issue that they didn't have, the thing that they needed the most, was space. So they put this population of rats into it this kind of tank sort of situation. It was big to start. And so it was fine. And they were able to eat and drink and, basically just society sort of broke down in rat utopia because they started running out of space, meaning that they were breeding, having little babies and little baby rats running all over the place. And so they had everything they needed, except terrible things started happening because they were kind of encroaching on each other's space. And so as a result, they started eating each other. Literally, it was Fight Club in rat utopia for real. They were literally cannibalizing each other because they were so sick of each other's crap. Because it's like once you put so many people in your space, that's what happens. I mean, they had mothers abandoning their babies and things like this in rat utopia, not because they didn't have the things they needed to survive, because they didn't have the space they needed to be themselves. How poignant is that? That tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Completely. It totally describes the mentality in cities, especially overcrowded cities. Forget about it. It's totally it. That's one of the reasons why I had to get out. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be myself. I had to walk around with an attitude all the freaking time. And then most of the time I had to walk around with an attitude just so I wouldn't get into some shit with somebody. Yeah. I'm like, I don't hate to be like
that. That sucks, man. That's no way to live for sure. But that's kind of what
you
they're doing.
You can't walk around like you're a tourist
all the time, man.
Yep. Can't walk around like you're a tourist. You can't walk around like you're happy and go lucky or whatever, because you're a target.
And look, even for you spiritual people out there, let me explain something to you, all right? There's a little ball on the tree of life called severity, and it's there for a reason. You know why? Because anger and, action and things like that is actually a healthy thing. Don't repress it, especially if somebody's like the government or whoever is boxing you in, right? Where you can't even say, you can't do anything.
Right.
If you don't take that energy of severity and bust your ass out of there, you're going to die. Or you're just going to become a lunatic or super depressed or something, Like, you have to take in that energy and die. That's why like, I've told people all the time that the Pentagon used the actual Pentagon because that's the force of Gabura on the Tree of Life. It's an old ancient thing. So literally, by using that geometrical shape, our military invoked the force of war and action because they knew all about it. Our government knows this stuff. They just don't want you talking about it.
That makes sense to me.
Well, you got to say that.
Well,
sounds legit to me.
Sounds legit to me. And that's not the only thing they know that we don't, by the way. That's not the only thing. There's a whole lot more than that. Don't get me started. This is my trigger warnings: taxes and healthcare. Don't bring them up, man. I'll start freaking out. I will lose the plot so fast. You'll be like, dude, is Michael Strange all right? And the answer is no. The answer is no, bro. I'm not.
Are you losing your mind too, huh?
I think everybody is. I think everybody is slowly, right? Like slowly slipping. And it seems like it's planned, right? It seems like we're part of this, rat utopia, for lack of a better analogy, right? It kind of seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian told me that last night on the phone after the show because he tries to pay attention to like why am I getting feedback here? What's esoterically happening all the time? And he said, man, like everybody's on the edge right now. It's cancer season, So there's a lot of feelings going on. Try to focus on the good stuff if you can. Just try. But don't take people's shit, too. I think that's where we're at right now. Don't take the government shit.
Yeah, no. No, definitely not. Here we are telling, like I say, telling ghost stories on the internet, right? I think that's probably the opposite of taking the government's crap. If we're being real, right?
I'm out of stories. I don't have any stories to tell, man. I don't know, dude. You know what I want more than anything? I think I'm going to do this weekend. I want to get a beer and a tube and jump in a creek somewhere and just drink to the point of like really buzzing hardcore and then just figure out where I'm going to wake up. That's what I want to do.
Bro, there's some places you jump in a river, you'll end up in the Pacific. Be careful.
Whatever, sounds like fun.
I'm just saying. Make sure it's not the Colorado River, all right? Not the Colorado River. Any place else. Yeah.
I just yeah, they got a place out here called Slide Canyon too, where it's well, that's in Sedona, but it's literally like a natural water slide. I wish they'd let you drink beer and just slide down on that, but that looks fun. I haven't got to do a damn thing since I've been out here because I've been on the squeeze, but I think I'm going to, regardless of the squeeze or not. I'm going to go play. The hell with it.
Yeah, man, go see. Have you been up to Sedona yet? You haven't done any of that stuff?
I mean, I drove through it a couple times. That's about it. Just only that's down the road. It's like 10 miles down the road.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Go see it.
Yeah, I'd like to just not worry about anything for about a month.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Yeah, why not? You're allowed, bro. You're allowed. You're a human being too, right? Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Dan, you gonna are you gonna do the show for me? No.
yeah. No.
You didn't say nothing about being gone away from the show.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this announcement again. The last time I did this announcement, we got one of the best radio hosts on the planet, Jess Rogie. So let me do this again and see if we can get another blessing right now. I am looking for a sit-in. I will train you. So every now and then you'll have to sit in and be the host of Lighting the Void. Okay? Like email producer@lightingthevoid.com. If it brings me another show host like Jess Rogie, then Jesus. Like, Jess is freaking awesome. She does the news every day. She does Instagram. She knocks it out of the park. You don't ever hear this woman, like, the only thing Jess might complain about is how good she thinks she didn't do something. Other than that, there is no, like, Jess is awesome. You're awesome too, Michael. You know that? I'm glad to have you here too, brother.
Thank you. I don't know about that, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm less than, but I'll
No, you're awesome, for real.
I'll take it. Thank you.
I've been getting a lot of people bragging about you, dude. A lot of people like your show. They love listening to it. You're doing great. You're all like, I hope this just gets better and we all can retire in about 10 years or something.
Amen,
what do you think?
bro. Amen. Amen. And hold on, by the way, if any aspiring radio hosts are out there, you got people that have been there, done that a little bit, and can help you. I know we got people out there listening that always thought they could do something on the radio. And let me tell you why. I'm here. I used to drive for a living, and I used to listen to a lot of talk radio, and I used to think every damn day, these guys are morons, I could do way better than them. And here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. You just get up and do it. There you go. Just to back up your point.
I'm still a moron, though.
No,
I think other people can do better.
Well, it didn't make me any less of a moron. I'm just here talking into a microphone now. So, right? I mean, you know, I think that's...
There you go.
Right? I mean, that doesn't change.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't know you were looking for somebody. We have people on this side, too, that may be interested in that. It's open call for backing up Joe Rupe, Lighting the Void.
Yeah, just all you got to do is, like, send me a demo or something. That's what Jess did. She sent me a killer demo, right? And she was so good, I was like, this girl doesn't need to be a sit-in. She needs to do her own thing, you know? Like, so we put her on the news, and now she's got her own show. I mean, and even if that happens, again, that's great. But I'd really like to sit in this time, you know?
Mm. Well, it's also not like there's not space on the radio station for more people anyway, right? I think it all works out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Demos, just send them. Producer at thefringe.fm.
There you go. Producer at thefringe.fm. You guys know who you are. Jennifer, I'm looking at you. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I know the Night Stalkers out there. What's up, guys? If you're able, and you're interested, there you go. You got some interested parties that think you would do a fine job.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just like potatoes, and we get by, right, Dan? Just a potato.
Yeah, same.
Just a potato.
Like I said, it doesn't change. You're just a moron talking in a microphone now. That part doesn't change. What can you do?
I'm definitely a moron, that's for sure.
What can you do?
I think I'm really getting dehydrated, though. I think this, you know how people be like, drink a lot of water, you'll get dehydrated. I really, other than 2-a-days when I played football and some jiu-jitsu stuff that I did, I really think like this is a weird form. This is the only time I've ever been dehydrated from just like heat and sunlight, though. How do I explain this?
By waiting till after we do the break.
Yeah. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Blew past the...
Oh! See, I'm dehydrated. I can't even think straight, man. We got to take... I have to, though.
Yeah.
Let's see. The real DMT. Y'all call in, too. 1-800-588-0335.
Make more money than now. To the hedge fund. GME is so scary. So Robinhood limited buying in January. The merry band of apes, no doubt, were pissed and said, now we gonna hodl till you don't exist.
I'm gonna call you right back here.
Was targeted.
All right, there you go. That's the Joe Rupe Show. Lighting the Void. It's on Fringe FM. I'm going to call him back after. See, I knew we were well past a break. That's why I was like, you want me to go into this right now? I should have mentioned the break. Anyway, yeah, so that's Dan and Joe. Joe Rupe is the owner of Fringe FM and the host of Lighting the Void. And like I said, again, right, that we have a lot of people here that can actually... that maybe have the talent to do these things, right? Like we got some callers. Some of our callers are brilliant. And if you ever have an aspiring thought to maybe try something like this, it's a good place to get into it. So I'm gonna tell these guys I'll call right back. But anyway, so we're just hanging out. They're gonna take a quick break over at Lighting the Void. I'll call back in a second. We'll finish out. We'll do the marathon session here. I'm not scared. It is Thursday after all, meaning that tomorrow's a short day with the news show and whatnot. And let's see. There we go. Just let them know. I'll call back. Commercials were blaring. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, there you go. See, you see how it is, right? It doesn't even have to be as structured as that. It could be, there you go. What was it? I'll send a demo. Yeah, sweet. You may as well. If you're interested, you may as well send a demo. What do you say? I'll ask again. What do you say? Producer at Fringe FM, I think. Fringe.fm. Producer at Fringe.fm. Daryl's another one too. Jennifer, you'd be very good. Who else would be good? Robert would be very good. We have so many great callers. Joe would be very good. Basically, if you call into our show, you guys are all fantastic. And if you're interested, there you go. It's kind of a way in. And I could help you. I could, help you with, just the things that I've learned along the way. Same thing with Joe, right? So if you're interested, yeah. There you go. All right, cool. Good stuff. Let's see. What's up? Matt says Jess is cute. Yes, agreed. Let's see what else. Let's see. Yeah, why not? Right? Like that's part of the thing. It's you know how I got on the Fringe FM? I asked. I was like, "Hey Joe, what's up, bro?" And actually came into his Discord blindly one night, not even knowing who was the owner, and asked if how it works to get on the show. And he was super cool about it. And I told him no, actually. I turned him down and then said that I wasn't ready yet. I didn't think I was ready yet because I talk too fast and, I ramble on a lot. The actual legitimate criticism that I get, which is fine. It's true. But it's a talk show, for crying out loud. If you can't ramble, what the hell are you doing, right? What the hell are you doing? So, yeah, there we go. What's up? Yeah, see? Everybody loves Jennifer. Jennifer, do it, Jennifer. There you go. Send it in. I'll have him read that again one more time. And why not? And so, basically, the way it works is, it's like, basically, they'd start you at an hour, I think, just to make sure you get comfortable. 2 segments, 5-minute breaks, top and bottom. I could help you with technology if you need it. Why not, right? You got things to say. I think people need to hear the things you say. So, if you guys don't know Joe, it's Joe Rupe, Lighting the Void. Check out his podcast. He is the owner of the Fringe FM, and he does, like I said, he's the guy that kind of allows me to be on here and speak on another platform. And like I've told you before in the past, that the way the technocrats are kind of cracking down on speech, it's a private thing, literally. So you can say whatever the hell you want to say, and he's gonna back you up. There's no technocracy saying you can't say that on the Fringe, right? So not that I'm really that controversial, but it is definitely a good thing. So there we go. Just tell him, let me know when it's back. All right, if you guys want to be a part of the show too, 800-588-0335. That's the call in to Lighting the Void. And there you go. We'll put you on the show with Dan, Joe, and myself, Michael Strange, Troubled Minds, and yeah, doing our thing, just hanging out. You see, and sometimes like kind of unstructured comments or shows, sometimes just shooting the shit is okay too. It's a good thing. Some weird stuff comes out like that Rat City or whatever, right? Rat Utopia. Look it up. It's real. It's a real thing. They started doing horrible things to each other, these rats, because they were just sick of each other's shit. And it's not good, right? It's when you live in these cities too much, just too close to your neighbors, and just sick of each other's shit. Like, this is the type of things that break down in society, right? It's not a good thing. So I think it's in Discord. The guy's name is Bry in Space. That's Brian. That's on the the show with Joe. And then there's also me, myself, of course. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run off and hit the restroom real fast. I'm going to play some music, and then I'm going to call back into the Joe Rupe Show, Lighting the Void. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to do more. He goes until 11, so we're going to go till 11. We'll finish the show with him. So it's 10:23 right now, so about another 40 minutes. But give me just a couple minutes to go kiss the wife and tell her what's going on, because she's probably like, aren't you done yet? And hit the restroom. I'm going to play some music, and I'll be right back with more. Joe Rupe, Lighting the Void, and myself, Troubled Minds, Michael Strange, and Bry in Space is the guy's name that we're on the line with. Brian, and we'll be right back. Be right back. Here's some music. Let's play this. Let's see. Back on. All right. Calling back to the Joe Rupe Show. Let's do this. What's up, guys?
Why is it playing Michael Strange's show? What the hell?
What the hell? That can't be. I'm not doing my show.
Because you stayed out too long.
Well, fuck it. I stayed out too long.
Wait, what happened? My gizmo's not up.
I'll play whatever song I want to play.
Okay.
God damn it.
Are we off the rails now? We're officially completely 100% off the rails? Holy smokes. All right. I don't know. There's no reason that should kick back in. Are you guys hearing? What are you guys hearing? Are you hearing me? Test, 1, 2. Test, 1, 2.
All right, here we go.
Okay, all right.
I still need more water. I feel like I'm just thirsty.
Beer, Joe. Beer.
Understand 3 truths. FEMA is broke. The system is broken. If this is the new normal, Americans can't rely on federal cavalry when disaster strikes. Don't get caught out in the elements empty-handed. Prepare with us by going to preparewiththefringe.com and get your 2-week food supply. 92 servings, 8 food varieties with 25-year shelf life. Normally $137, now only $75. Or get a month's supply. Normally $247, now only $147, shipped in 1 business day. Just go to preparewiththefringe.com or call 888-440-7931. That's 888-440-7931.
I know what's going on with that, but I should be hearing his show instead of him, and I don't think they've put me back on the line yet. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, he says he was hearing my show, but that can't be because I'm not broadcasting on the Fringe, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, what's up, guys? So we're just kind of kicking it. Yeah, we're just kicking it. What's up, Angel Wings? Thanks for showing up. We did extra bonus time here to do some time with Joe Rupe. He's the owner of Fringe FM. He's got a show called Lighting the Void, and so we're usually done by now, but his show goes till 11, and he said, hey, give me a call, hop on the show. So I did, and here we are. So I don't know what's up. Let's from
the United States or Canada.
Nope. Okay, I guess we're back on schedule. Back on the regular bottom of the hour break. Oh boy. All right. Can I mute myself? Let's see. Let me make sure I can mute myself so I'm not like talking. There we go. There we go. So I'm not talking over his commercials or some shit like this. What's up, guys? Yeah. So what's up, NS? What's up, everybody? There you go. There you go. Well, good stuff. Thanks for showing up. Like I said, it's kind of a derailed into a whatever it's going to be tonight. So we're talking about random weird shit at this point on Lighting the Void with Joe Rupe and Brian. Bri from Space is the guy in the Discord there. Good stuff, guys. I see you in the chat. Ask Martin Floriani to watch a couple Troubled Mind shows. I have no doubt if he takes a look, he'll welcome you to set up shop on Rockfin. Okay. All right. Martin Floriani, that's the owner, right? Okay. All right, cool. What's up, Christopher? Purges and Natural Selection. Larry says, Orange Man going after big tech should be a hoot. Yeah, we'll see, right? Let's see if this is still playing. What's going on with this?
It's not a pussy drink. You drink two and you'll be out. That's what they want you to think, that it's a pussy drink, right? But it's not.
Test.
And when it's hot, you just take a Collins glass, right? Pour some vodka in there, a little shot of sweet and sour, some cranberry, right? And some grapefruit juice, white grapefruit especially. Vodka, white grapefruit, splash of cranberry, salt the rim, put a lime on it. And there is nothing more crisp and refreshing in the summertime than that. About two of them, if it's mixed perfectly, you'll feel like you drank a six-pack or had 3 shots of maybe bourbon. I'm going to go have one.
Test. 1, 2.
And anybody that... Are you going to come down, Michael? You're not far away. How long do you think it takes to get to Vegas from here?
Can you hear me?
4 hours? Hell yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, nobody said hi. Hey, welcome back to Lighting the Void with Joe Rupe. I'm Michael Strange, and we're here with Bri from Space.
I forgot we're doing this.
It's all good.
Simulcasting.
It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. So probably where you're at, I think it's probably like 3.5 or 4 hours to Vegas, something like that. I think that's about right.
Oh, dude, that's a night drive. I can do it.
Yeah, I think so.
He ain't doing it.
I'm taking White Thunder to Vegas.
He was 3 or 4 hours from my house. He couldn't do it. He didn't do it.
That's crap, dude. That's crap. Driving through the Pennsylvania mountains isn't 3 or 4 hours. That's a journey.
3 or 4 hours.
That's a Bilbo Baggins journey for anybody. Trust me. When you get around there,
there's truth there, but
yeah. As soon as you break off into northern Pennsylvania, it's like, what the hell planet did we just land on? You know?
Yeah.
And you got to go around 10 mountains to go 20 miles.
Well, it's better than driving through the nether.
It is. I did have... All right, so I did have that Fear in Las Vegas moment out here where you stop and you have an anxiety attack for a minute because you don't have, like, cell service or anything. Mm-hmm. And then you just start going, like, what the hell am I doing out in the middle of the desert? You know, I need help. You start honking the horn and you realize there's nobody around but a buzzard, right? It freaks you out a little bit.
I had that through Wyoming. That was interesting. Because, you know, when you're in Wyoming, you're in a straight damn road and you look like you're going downhill because of the way the landscape is. But you ain't. You're going uphill.
Yeah. You know what?
And it's forever.
There was a hill out there. It's on my Patreon. Maybe I should release it to the public. But it's literally, it's called Spook Hill out there. You heard of this, Michael?
No.
That's the one with the haunted school bus?
So Jesse, my neighbor, takes me out there, and the truck is literally pointed downhill, right? And as soon as he puts it in neutral, it starts going uphill.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest thing ever. But if you look at it, I can't explain it. I'm probably going to have to release it to the public, or you can just look up Spook Hill on YouTube, actually. But if you look at it one way, it's totally downhill. You can even walk downhill, and you feel like you're going to fall downhill. And then you go the other way, and it kind of looks downhill, but it's not. And then if you stand in the middle, you start to feel dizzy. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know why I brought that up.
I got a link for it. It's kind of like sounds like the mystery spot in California, if you've ever been there or heard of that.
What's the name of it?
It's called the Mystery Spot. It's like a kind of a place where things defy physics a little bit. You get weird, kind of like there's a vortex or something going on, and there's like weird anomalous things, and they literally built like an attraction around it in California there. It's kind of near Santa Cruz. I've never been there, but I've heard people have been there and said they see some freaky stuff over there. So yeah, I've got a link to what is this called? Spook Hill. So I'm linking it in the chat, guys, for everybody out there listening. I'll put it in the Fringe chat too.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drive to Vegas.
Let me know, man.
Come out to Vegas and see you. Right?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Let me know. 4 hours 20 minutes from Sedona, so it's a drive, but it's doable. That's 284 miles.
Maybe stop at the Chicken Ranch and have a beer. You know?
Yeah, why not?
Making my way out there.
Why not? Yeah. For those that don't know, Joe came from New York State and Arkansas before that. He lives in Arizona now. Welcome to the Southwest.
It's weird out here, man. You can carry, it's not weird. It's just super free, right? You can carry guns in Arizona. They can drive buggies around here, and then you go north. They got bordellos up there and all kinds of stuff. Everybody says they want freedom, right? Like, oh, well, freedom. And then when you get around it, like, and it's still not ultimately free out here, but when you get around it, things are a little weird. So I feel like I've had Stockholm Syndrome, like when I was in New York. I couldn't even use plastic bags in New York. Plastic bags were a sin, right? I mean, it was incredible. And down here, I mean, I don't know, it's like a Mad Max film or something, you know?
Yeah, it's
you walk outside and half the mountains are on fire. There's a buggy going down the road. It's crazy.
I agree with you. I came from the other side. I came from California, from the the authoritarians on the West Coast instead of the East Coast, and so there's some majesty to the Southwest with that freedom bit. You know, like I could literally just carry like a Desert Eagle on my hip into a grocery store and nobody trips. You know, it's just like, yeah,
beautiful thing.
Freedom, beautiful bro. It smells like freedom. Hey, Joe, real quick, I got a couple people.
We got old guys. We got gold guys out here. We're an open carry state too in PA, and we got guys out here. They carry this stuff holstered. Older people mostly, and they just walk in anywhere and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Like once you get over it, though, it's not a scary thing, right? Like, think of it this way: if some joker comes like running in the grocery store with a machete chopping people up, one of them old timers is going to put him down before he can say, "What the hell just happened?" So you know what I mean? It kind of makes me feel better about the situation, right? I'm like, okay, cool, right? Like we got some vigilante justice if it needs to be done. It's ready to go. But
the last time I was in Las Vegas, though, bro, was 2013, I think. I went to Pahrump, Nevada, where Art Bell lives, and went to Vegas. I was so enamored. I don't know if enamored's the right word, but I was so in awe by the architecture. You know, I'm just some redneck boy from Arkansas. I've never seen a city like Las Vegas before. I didn't gamble. I didn't do anything. I just drove around the city for 2 days just looking at everything because it was so amazing, you know?
Yeah, it's nice. I had a nighttime, was working for a hotel, and I was doing the laundry. I was in the laundry room. So we used to get out in the morning, like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Sun's coming up, and you see nothing but mountains. The haze hasn't come down yet or anything like that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Big sky. That's what I remember. All year long. That was the only other thing. I don't think it rained maybe like twice.
That's the
whole time I was there.
I don't miss the rain that much. I mean, we get rain and it sucks, flash floods and all that, but you know, California was nicer, but it rained, right? And it's like, it's raining today. This sucks. Well, nope, not so much in Vegas. Well, a lot less. I'm okay with it. My wife, not so much, but I'm okay with no rain. Hey, Joe, real quick, what's the email? Well, I got a couple folks that are interested in sending you a demo. Is it producer@fringe.fm? thefringe.fm, is that right?
No, it's producer at the Fringe. It's the old URL, so it's producer at thefringe.fm.
Got it.
And here soon, and I mean real soon, we're going to do a contest for this too, right? So we're going to do a contest to have, well, I don't want to tell you too much about it, but we're going to do contests for this too. I figure why not, right? And the way I'm going to do it is going to be cool. We're going to have a meeting. It's going to be awesome. And then we're going to have the best radio station on the planet. We already do anyways, but it's going to be even better than that. Even better.
Nice.
Even better.
Nice.
Even better. And then when the schedule gets full, if you don't jump in on this, you're going to miss out. Because the schedule will fill up quick.
Just letting you know.
Quick.
Lickety split. Quick. Yeah. There you go. So we had some people interested. Producer at thefringe.fm, guys. I linked it in the chat if you want to check it out. That's where to send a demo if you want to be on the radio on the Fringe FM. Joe Rupe here is the owner. And like I said, if anybody wants to do this too and you're like hesitant, I can help you. I will help you. I will also. I know Joe will help you. I will help you. Spend some time, help you get the audio right and stuff. Sometimes it's a lot of work to figure it all out, but I'll help. I'll chip into that. I know we have a lot of smart people out there that have a lot of smart things to say, and getting the word out is important.
I'm not going to help you.
Damn it! I didn't want to speak for you, but all right, fine. Brian
I'm
has
not going to
spoken.
help you. You're on your own. I already did this.
Okay, all right.
I had the trial by fire.
Well, I mean, do you realize what you're saying? You're going to help. You're going to help people for real. You're going to help them get a demo. If you guys want to know what a good radio demo sounds like, okay, just go to YouTube and type in radio station air checks, and you'll hear what it sounds like. Anybody can do it. And here's the key to this. Don't think about how good you are or how professional it sounds or any of that stuff. Think about how fun it would be to do and how fun it would be to hear what you're doing. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Because I feel like when you get to that point where you worry about just how good it is, it's no fun, man. Like, that's... when you go on the dance floor, if you're worried about how good you can dance and you're constantly thinking about that, you don't dance for crap. Same thing in the sack. If you start thinking about all this stuff, it just doesn't happen. So what I'm trying to tell you is just have fun with it. That's it.
Yeah, it comes out of you.
That's my advice.
If you got it in you, you got it in you. And I would say the same thing. Focus on the audio. Make sure your production is as tight as possible. And then whatever's going to come out of you, you probably already have a knack for anyway. Like I said, all that driving made me go, nah, come on, man. These guys are always talking about propaganda BS on the radio. We could do better than this.
Listen, I got a confession to make.
Shoot.
I committed a crime yesterday and didn't know about it.
All right.
Until afterwards.
All right.
You know what I did?
What'd you do?
I hit a car and I took off.
What? I thought you were going to say something like, I collected rainwater and that's a crime in my city.
No. So here's what I was doing. And Brian don't even know this because I was talking to him on the phone last night. I got my right front tire has got a slow leak now. You know what's weird? I talked to a psychic a year ago, and he said my right front tire was going to have something wrong with it, and now it does. But it's got a slow leak on it. All right? And I was talking on the phone. This is why I'm starting to figure out I can't do multiple things at once. So I was talking on the phone, got in the car. What am I hearing here? Feedback? I don't know.
Not me.
I got in the car, and I hit reverse, and I just bumped this truck. And granted, it didn't look any better than White Thunder, right? No better. And I just barely bumped it, and I thought that it was the curb. But you know how when you think you hit the curb, and then you realize, wait, that's not a curb, that's a car? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I had that thought. And so my heart skipped a beat for a second, and I just drove the hell off. You know?
Awesome. How did you? So you got damaged then? You said your front tire's broken now, or what?
No, there's no damage on my car at all. There's absolutely. I'm telling you, the Honda has this big plastic bumper on the back of it. All I did was just barely touch it. I mean, it was harmless, you know, but it still freaked me out. How many people have actually done that? A hit and run. I'm not talking about hitting, like crashing into a car or hitting somebody, but just barely bumped somebody and it was like, hell with it. Come on.
My hand is raised.
I've grazed a pole, like in a parking stall, and I just went in at a stupid angle, and I still have the dent in my truck to prove it. but no, I've never actually bumped a vehicle, though. I may need to be on my bucket list now, though, just for shits and giggles. Oops, sorry. I did it. I just cursed on the radio. I just cursed on the radio, Joe.
He did
it. We just went nuts, right? Like I said, we're off the rails anyway.
Yeah, right.
Moment of badness.
978 area code. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with? 978. That's you.
Yo, sorry. I had to mute myself. Sorry.
What are you doing, bro?
You guys? I'm stalking.
Have you ever committed a hit and run in that hoopty?
No, never.
Come on, dude. You've never bumped a car, like slightly bumped a car and drove off?
Slightly, but they saw it. It was an old couple, like in the supermarket parking lot. It's way back in the day. I got another accident. Huh?
Go ahead. You got another accident?
My two accidents with people were like unbelievably minor, and they both saw it both times. And then my other ones where like the car got destroyed were just myself. Like, so it's just like telephone pole and that kind of stuff. So no, that's not. I don't know. You shouldn't be doing that though.
I just didn't.
But I don't want to call it that.
I know. Listen, I know I shouldn't have did it. Okay, that's why I should have had a confession to make. Right? Like I haven't bumped anything with my car in years. Right? But it was just. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm at a gas station. Nobody's around, and I'm like, what? Like everything went through my head really quick. Okay, go in there. This guy like wants to call my insurance company over a little bitty scratch, like a tiny scratch. Not even you couldn't even see it. That's not worth it. I'm out. You know.
Yeah,
I get the instinct for sure. Yeah.
Check this out. Go ahead.
I don't want to talk about that though.
Okay, go, Terry.
I'm trying to save you here, Joe. You know, but
what's they gonna do? Come arrest me? I already had a cop beat down the door once because homeless people were out here.
Nah, I know. Still, yeah. It's just I just want to.
What's on your mind, stalker?
Shut up,
contract things. The perspective thing. Real quick, when you guys were talking about the rain or whatever, there's like a little. You talked about on perspective earlier. Like for me, I wish for rain, and I feel like it's been really rainy because I've been hoping for it because when I live in an apartment complex, so I have neighbors, and I'm constantly smoking weed, and if it's nice out, their doors are open, and they absolutely hate it. They're all they're older, absolutely they hate it. But if it's 60 or lower and it's rainy or whatever, the doors are closed, and I have privacy. And so for me, it's just an example of perspective. It's all kind of what you're looking for, defines your reality, that kind of thing. And to your point about the rats thing, we were talking about Dr. Chris Ryan on Monday. He wrote a book after Sex at Dawn called Civilized to Death, where he talks about this with locusts and grasshoppers. And when grasshoppers are in an environment where there's enough space, enough everything for them, enough resources for them, they're grasshoppers and they're fine, they're peaceful. But as soon as they run out of space, they literally mutate. Their bodies change and they turn into locusts, and they eat each other and cannibalize each other until the back to equilibrium, until there's smaller population and there's more space. And the same with wild pigs and boars. When they're domesticated, they're a pig. When they're out in the wild, they literally mutate.
Feral.
So the theory is that humans, when we started using agriculture and settled down, we domesticated ourselves. So what if we're the locust stage of the grasshopper, and that's why we're doing this to ourselves? It's it's just a theory, and that's similar to the rats thing. I mean, what if we shouldn't be all crunched up together in these cities and stuff? What if we need a little bit more space to breathe, a little more room to breathe? You know? it reminded me of that when you guys were talking about it. But
Oh,
cool hearing you guys.
Hold the phone. Wait a minute. So, what? So, if they start getting boxed in, they mutate, then kill each other?
Their bodies will literally mutate. They'll change from a grasshopper to a locust, and they'll eat each other and cannibalize each other until the population is down, and then they'll change back to grasshoppers once there's more space, which is like what Mike's talking about with the rats. You know what I mean? Like when they're all clenched up together, they change. They completely change. And like, what if we've been like, what if all the craziness and the tenseness and the people? Maybe that's the theory. I mean,
well, that's why the big exodus from the big cities.
Yeah. No. I mean, I get what he's saying though. Like we're probably doing that too, because they're making us crazy with this stuff, right? And then things get overpopulated, and they box us in, and we destroy each other. But what are we mutating to? You want to hear something weird, man? Now that you say that, dude, there are like 15. No, I don't want to say 15. Like 10 people I've talked to in the past 2 months that are having autoimmune deficiencies for some reason in their bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I talked to somebody today who said that their cholesterol level is at like 2,400 in their blood. You know, your cholesterol level is supposed to be like 150, right?
Holy crap!
Yeah. This is a young, healthy person.
Yeah, like when your body's in that, everybody knows this. But when your body's in that fight or flight mode, it changes. Like you can't work properly. Your body starts dysfunctioning. It happens for a long time. Like say for the past year and a half or whatever. You change. I mean, like my mother has autoimmune disease. Like she has multiple sclerosis, and she points to a specific like traumatic event in her life which she thinks causes it, which is like kind of like she believes it's completely stress related, and like she's in a wheelchair from it. So it's a real thing. Like you got to try to like I don't know, best you can, like let it all slide off. Like wait, like surf the wave. You know, don't get drowned in it. Don't get buried by it. You know.
I wouldn't doubt it if they're doing like psychological experiments of warfare on us. To like mutation experiments. I mean, look at the vaccine, mRNA, right? Psychological warfare. And next thing you know, you grow a third arm and it starts talking to you. Maybe they're just trying to figure this out. Maybe they are using us like rats.
I think so.
I don't know. I'm not sure. People are on a razor's edge, but like at some point you can't blame that. I mean, we've been doing this for like a year and a half. Like I don't know. It's just like the things that you focus on, you're going to see it more and more and more often. Like. I don't know, if I dwell too much on my surroundings, I can definitely get myself in a downward spiral, you know. And I've been there for a long time, and I don't know. You just gotta kind of like.
You're 100%.
Mike, you really, Mike really. Mike does a great job. He's a really great addition to the Fringe, and like you were talking like tonight, Mike, about how you kept saying that you were like going off and like on a soapbox and stuff, and like you really weren't. Like I listen to a lot of stuff, and like people are negative about it. Like you're really positive about this. You can say like stuff that's like scary and that kind of stuff and things that are like wrong with the world, but you do it in a way that's like coming from a happy place, you know? And like a lot of people aren't doing that. And like there's a reason why I say haha in text every time I say a sentence, because I want people to know I'm saying it with a smile. I mean, and like so just
you might just have like a super dark sense of humor. You know, that could be it too.
I have that too.
It's true. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you got to be dark about it. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to like you can be dark without being like negative. And like dark is funny. Like,
yeah, it's definitely funny. Hold on, let's take this other call because we're running out a few times here. I don't want them to stay away.
I gotta go. But great show, you guys. It's been awesome talking to you guys.
All right,
thanks, Derek. Catch you later.
951 area code. Later, Night Stalker. Don't work too hard. 951 area code. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with? 951.
Jay.
Jay, where are you calling from?
From SoCal, Southern California.
Oh, dude, what's up?
Oh, man, I was just falling asleep, but I had to chime in real quick because that whole locust conversation, I just read about that earlier today, and it's like a synchronicity. So, like the whole reason they form into locusts is from serotonin, I guess. So serotonin increase over time, and I don't know, within like 2 or 3 weeks, the grasshopper will actually mutate into like a locust.
Really?
That's insane, man. I wonder what the hell are those things called, man, that I was talking about the other day? Hello. They say they're aliens too. What is it?
The praying mantises.
Praying mantis. I saw one on the door the other day. I wonder what those bastards would mutate into.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? But I was just thinking think about all the things, like, just to piggyback off of him, as he was saying, all the things that, like, maybe humans get serotonin from, like our phones and technology and stuff like that over time. You know what I mean? So what does the human version of the locust become?
Oh, no, we're probably going to find out.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, probably. But humor is always a good thing too. Dark humor, any type of laughing, and just acceptance. You know what I mean? Acceptance creates that lightness within you to just keep going. And with your realm, I noticed the other day you said something about tension. So
yeah, well, between Night Stalker and Michael Strange and your call. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have a few drinks tonight. There's a lot to think about.
Cheers, brother.
You know, as long as you enjoy it and laugh somewhere down the line, because you know it's just like day by day. You know, no day is guaranteed, so might as well be as light as possible.
Exactly.
My goal in this life is to die light as possible. You know what I mean? Just laughing or just light, because I feel like that energy will take you to wherever you go when that date comes. So might as well always be prepared for it. You know what I mean?
I like your style, Jay. First time caller, Jay.
As always. Yes,
Thanks for calling in, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, Jay.
All right,
have a good night, man.
Peace.
We get a lot of first time callers here lately. I haven't even looked at the map tonight, by the way. Holy hell, there's a lot of people listening. Is Clyde not doing a show again? Thanks, Clyde.
Nah, man.
Is that what's going on?
It could be.
Clyde's
you know that one night he didn't do a show, I was like thanking him every like 3 quarters of an hour. Thanks, buddy.
Clyde's old
Appreciate
news,
it.
man. Clyde's old news. He's great, but he's old.
He's all right.
Nah,
he's all right.
He's the reason I'm doing this. So I don't mean it. I only mean it tongue in cheek. I aspire to be.
Well, the cool thing about him, man, is you can have the dorkiest, geekiest conversations with him for long periods of time. Like he's just like us, man. He loves this stuff. You know, I just feel bad that I fell asleep in Star Wars. Like I think he was never gonna forgive me about that. We got like a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes, if somebody wants to call in. 1-800-588-0335. Tomorrow night, Mary DeCina is going to be on here. I would suggest if you want to talk to her to call in early and wait, because it's going to be a really big show, the Cancer New Moon. Pretty deep stuff, man. So thanks for coming on, Michael. It's good having you on here.
Yeah, pleasure's mine. Thanks. You know where to find me, man.
We got one. Yeah, well, I'm gonna prank call your show one of these nights. 602 area code. You're on the air. Who are you speaking with?
What are you doing? It's Curtis.
Kurt Green. What's up, brother?
How do you do? Why are you in Cottonwood and you didn't come down to see me? We got to go to Mexican food.
Are you drunk tonight, Kurt?
No. Are you?
I'm about to go get drunk, I promise you.
Listen. Yeah, the vodka and cranberry. That would be good, yeah.
No, listen, though. I missed you, man. I should come down to Tolleson and see you. You know?
Yes. Come down any time.
Are you doing okay?
Today, we're like up 2-0 against the Bucks. We're doing good.
How are you doing, Kurt? Are you doing all right?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. I'm working at my job and doing good and trying to take care of things, but don't worry about being on the air and then people bothering you and things. Just go on doing what you're doing.
Well, I miss you, man.
No, you don't. You don't miss me at all. Don't lie to me.
I do miss you. I miss you being in the chat room talking about
me. I would not miss a thing about me.
I miss you hanging out talking about how Jesus is coming back and we're all going to die until that happens.
Jesus.
We all
miss
die. Drinking with you.
We do die. We go to heaven.
Yeah. I miss drinking with you. So Kurt was around.
Yeah.
We had a drinking competition, but Kurt was around back when I was first started the show in the shack when I had to go over to my grandmother's house with a 38 special.
Yeah, I was
you remember
on that show. we were on a live show, and somebody was messing with his grandma, and he got up and got his gun. Oh my gosh!
My grandma called me, and she was afraid, man. She's like, somebody's outside. They're trying to get my house, Joseph. Come over here. You know, like I had to. I'd feel terrible if somebody hurt my grandma and I didn't do something about it.
That was awesome. You're an awesome man. Hey, I gotta go. Take care.
Bye, Kurt.
Bye.
Bye, Kurt.
Bye, Kurt. Thanks for the call.
How long has it been since that guy's called in the show? I missed the hell out of him.
See?
Do you miss him? I miss him.
For sure.
I miss him. Anyways, we got to get out of here. All right. I'm sorry.
That's a shame.
I'm gonna go have a drink.
Joe, let's set up a like world record breaking streaming. Go for like a week straight. You down for something like that?
You talking about like a marathon type thing where we don't sleep and all that stuff?
Yeah, the whole damn thing. Like literally find out what the world record is and just get publicity crazy.
Yeah, I have like 3. Well, that might be a good idea because I have like 3 weeks to make a big decision about. The Fringe FM's not going anywhere, but as far as what Joe has to do, maybe a marathon might save us. You know, save me.
It's publicity like crazy.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can see the headline now. These jerk-offs in the Southwest are going for the world record for the longest stupid broadcast ever. And yet, it would still be a world record. Anyway, I'm down for something like that. If you want to do something stupid, let me know. I'm down for something stupid.
Well, we got to get everybody involved. Ryan would probably get involved too.
Exactly right. Like as long as you keep rotating people through and call it the same show, I think it counts, doesn't it? Something like
we're past the hour.
It's okay. It's okay. It's no reason to panic. Trust me.
I'm not panicking.
I'm not panicking. Just letting you know.
I'm not either. I'm loading it up. But thank you, Dan. I appreciate you, brother. All right, we'll be back tomorrow night with Mary DeCina. You guys make sure you make it out for that one. Check out our website, marydecina.com. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, callers. Thanks, Michael. This was fun. I had a good time, man.
Yeah, me too. Appreciate you. We'll do it again. Let me know. Have a good night, guys.
You got it, brother. You too.
Have a good one, Mike.
There was none down there at the time.
What is going on, man? Good night, y'all.
Take it easy.
Sweet dreams. All right, so I'm hanging up the phone here, and we're gonna finish our show too, because we've been on this for 4 hours now or some shit. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's okay. So we were just finishing up. Joe wanted me to be on the show, and so he had Brian on there as well. So I hopped on and said, "What's up?" And it turned into a long and rambling conversation, which hopefully it was entertaining enough. We still got people out there listening, so I appreciate that. Thanks again. Remember, if you want to be if you're an aspiring radio host. There's an actual email you can send a demo to. Let's see, what was it? Producer at the Fringe FM. Producer at the Fringe FM. Let's see, what is this? Let's see. Let me get it. There we go. Putting it up on the stream so you guys can see this and see what's going on. All right, so if you are, there you go. So Joe Rupe is looking for a fill-in for him to kind of cover some time. I guess he's looking to do something. And then also, we're also on the Fringe looking for radio hosts to take, if you want like a weekly show. Like basically I do 4 nights a week, right? I did 3, now I do 4. They also have people that do like 1 night a week, for that type of thing, right? Because, people work and stuff and all the rest of that. So anyway, just FYI, if anybody's interested in that type of thing, there it is, producer at thefringe.fm. Put together a demo. And if you, like I said, if you need help with some technology stuff or a way to get started, I'm also a resource available for that. Like I said, I know we have a lot of great callers, a lot of people who are interested in this stuff. Just know there's no pay in this. Basically, it's on you to create the content, put it up on a podcast feed, and create something else, right? Turn it into something for yourself. So just FYI, I want to point that out, that it's not like that. It's not like, bam, you get on the Fringe FM, you're like a millionaire. Nothing like that. So just
just to be clear, and then, but it does get you started. It does get you locked into a schedule, and it does help me because it's hard to start on time for me. So you know what I mean. So sometimes I'm usually the 5 minutes late guy. So, but since I'm on the fringe, I have to go at like 7 on the button. Anyway, just point being, there you go. If you're interested in that, it's open and people are. There you go. What's up, Marge? I see you there. Thanks for showing up. Everybody in the chat, everybody that hung through all this long ass stream, probably the longest show we ever did. But we kind of did the show after, the lighting the void and the rest of it. And you see how rambling the conversations can be. But if you do it right, it's still entertaining, I hope, right? I hope so. All right, Jay, what's up, buddy? I'm with you, man. Are you there?
Yeah, I think so. Am I?
Yeah, you're with me.
No.
You're with me, bro.
Okay, cool.
I bumped down into the caller queue because it kept bumping you off the air, so I'm hearing your like background noise. So you're on, buddy.
Oh, that's your show.
Hopefully you're not masturbating or something.
I'm kicking off your show.
Okay, good. So hey.
That's funny. So you've got 4 hours in right now. Let's start now. Let's bring in us in here. Let's bring Marge.
Let's do it.
We'll get some. We'll get Monochrome in a couple hours. Bunny's got to be up by like 7 or so our time, right? For New York time. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Could we really pull it off?
No, not right now. We need some planning for this. We need some planning. No, that's
the whole thing is we don't need any planning at all. Let's just do it.
No. I like your enthusiasm, but no. You said you had a quote. Let's do an extra quote. We're a super long show. Let's finish this up. Let's do the second outro with Jay, if you can believe that. Have you ever had 2 outros in the same show? You got another quote for us, buddy? Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, I think so. I want to read this one really quick before I read it out loud. I don't know. I don't want to be a bummer. You know what I mean?
It's fine. I got you. I'll laugh and make some light of it. So,
well, I mean,
go ahead.
I see. I got Carl Sagan. I got Winston Churchill. I got all these ones that I was saving for a different show, and then I changed my mind at the end. I'm not using that one. I'll use this one instead. But I think this one by Carl Sagan might be good.
All right, let it rip. I'll give you some music. Hold on. Let's see. Since we're so far in, let's start from the beginning. Go right ahead, sir.
The dumbing down of America is the most evident slow decay of substance content and an enormously influential, my sleep just spurred, media. The 30-second bites, now down to 10 seconds or less. The lowest common denominator of programming, credulous presentations on pseudoscience and superstition, but especially on the celebration of ignorance. And that was Carl Sagan. And I'm going back to what you were talking in the middle of the show, before we went and talked to Joe and I don't know what the other guy's name was. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All good. All right. So let's finish this up. Thank you. Again, Shamanic says that's some time dilation magic. 2 outros in the same show. 2 J-tros. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it, bro. Let's finish this up. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope, again, right, like I appreciate what Night Stalker said, that he appreciates our levity as a group, as a community, that sometimes shit looks ugly, but we can still smile and look it in the face and say, do your worst. And that's what this show's really about. Thanks again, Jay, for hanging out for 2 outros. Thanks to everybody else for sticking in for a long, rambly WTF show. Let's get the hell out of here. Remember, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, we've got Troubled Minds News with Michael Strange. We'll see you then. Thanks again, Jay. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
That was fun.
That was fun. I agree. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Jay. We'll see everybody else later. Killing the stream in 3, 2, 1.